All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Open Field Podcast. I'm with my boys F. Dot, Jaden, Hefe. We'll have a couple guys rolling in as we come along. How are we doing?
Good, man.
Man,
Good,
cool.
man.
Good to see you guys. Good to see the chat. Chat. Hope you're doing well. So let's start it off with, and I'm trying to just do it a little slow because I know people aren't really here. They're gonna roll in probably in the next 5-10. So Brock Purdy contract extension. Let's do it. So questions: was it a good deal? Would you have given Brock $50 million? That's pretty much the questions that I have, and then anything you guys want to talk about, you can add to it. We'll start off with F. Dot.
Yeah, man. So, I think it was good. It was a good choice to obviously re-sign him and give him a good deal. But I don't think I don't think he's worth 50 million though. Like 50 mil a year. I think that was a little bit much. I think they could have got him there for like 30, maybe 25. 30, 35 maybe. I know the quarterback market is crazy right now, so you have to kind of overpay, and all that. The business stuff would kind of like be all crazy, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's hard because it's hard. I like Brock Purdy, but 50 mil, it's like he's getting paid more than a few guys. I gotta look at like everybody's numbers, but I'm pretty sure he's getting paid more than a lot of quarterbacks right now. So
Of course he is, baby.
yeah, 50 mil. That's my thing.
Yeah, Jaden.
Uh, I think it was good. I feel like the reason behind giving him that much money is purely based on they had a bad season. They already don't have a lot of money to re-sign players. I think they're more worried about losing their starting quarterback than anything else. So I can see why they would do that.
That's fair.
I don't see them going to another bowl for a little while. But I do think if you have your team that you know is about to go to a crumbling state because y'all running out of money, it's extremely important to keep your quarterback on top of that.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with that for the most part. Hefe.
All I'm gonna say is this: since I was a kid, my uncle has always loved the Niners. Always been his team. Always. I asked him how he felt about Purdy. This was before the sign, and he said, "We can literally get anybody to do better. The dude's missing arm talent in certain places. He don't really have the power to get the throws there. He's just good for the system." I think to pay a guy this much money, who's not he's one, but he's not a game changer. Like you sends the wrong message to the league. No offense, but you remember when Flacco got paid, right?
Yeah, of course. When we won the Super
Expectations
Bowl,
went up, and
of course.
it was bad. It was bad. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I just think this is kind of like in Flacco had a lot more things he could do than Purdy does. That's all I'm saying. I don't think
Flacco just has more. He has more talent, like arm talent.
Arm talent.
That's what I'm saying. He has more than Purdy does.
It, though. That's
Purdy
really
makes
it.
the right decisions. He's a good.
Yeah, I think Purdy has IQ wise. Purdy got it, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got it there, but I'm talking about like arm talent,
but
being in the game, changing the game, breaking the game.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
Actually agree. I think the reason why I agree with that is because I don't know how good Brock Purdy would have been. Yeah, those defenses were really good, and they had some good run games. They had some decent receivers, but like they had what when they won the Super Bowl the last time they had
Antoine Bowen, Torrey Smith.
Their entire offense was just throwing deep shots off of play action. That was their whole offense. I don't know.
That was it. And then Ray Rice, obviously, the run game with Ray Rice and them boys over there. Use check and stuff. But yeah, you're right for sure.
Like
I don't know if Brock Purdy could be in that system. I
don't think the Ravens would ever take a player like that. The last quarterback they took like that was Trent.
But guys, he also forgetting he had McCaffrey too. That's another weapon, bro. That changes the game.
I mean, their offense. No, it was more than that. Their offense when he won the MVP was one of the best offenses we've seen in the last 5 years.
But when you got a running back that dynamic, bro, like you can make the safety play where like you got to make him be on. And when you got a back that can do that, bro, otherwise the safety can roam, play inside the box, drop out. Like it's just a lot of different looks you can see as a quarterback.
I mean, yeah, and as much crap as Shanahan gets, he's still one of the best minds. And when you get him a running back like that with a mid, all you need is a mid offensive line. You don't even need a good offensive line, and you can make some special things happen.
And
So
they
I
had a
think-
great offensive line at that. So.
I
yeah,
think
but
they got a great system to fit the offensive line.
okay, so my whole opinion on this Brock Purdy thing is very clear. And for people that were with me when we talked about it like months ago, you know what I'm going to say. I hate this. I don't hate it. I respect that Brock got his money. But I just think this is a game that you don't want to play. You don't want to pay him $50 million because where is Brock Purdy in the top quarterbacks list? He's top 12. Like if you're being generous at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's getting paid $50 million only because he finished top 3 in the MVP voting a year ago, the same time that Dak did. And the reason why he's getting the reason why he's getting paid is because all of these guys like Dak, Daniel Jones got paid ridiculous amounts, and now the market's just completely screwed.
Yeah.
But I was considering for San Francisco like to just completely rebuild last year, and then try to make a run at it 3 or 4 years from now, because when I look at this division isn't that good, and it's not that compelling for the future either. The Rams are the only threat right now, but in the next 4 years, the Rams have a big question mark too. So, and the Rams are going to be hard to beat this year too, by the way.
Yeah.
But the Niners, I think that they're still going to compete for the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're going to be in it because I don't think the NFC
It won't
West
be the same, though.
I don't think the NFC West other than the Rams is that good, and I think Shanahan and their GM B's here. Hold on, let me add him. I think that or I think that GM and Shanahan can just figure it out, because I don't think Arizona with Kyler, I don't think that the other team in that division either, or Seattle, is that good in the future too. So I think they'll be fine for the division. But when it comes to competing for the championship, I think that there's a lot more questions. I look at them a lot more like the Cowboys. I give them more respect than the Cowboys. I think that they could beat the Cowboys, but like that's how I look at them when competing against the Lions or the Eagles at this point, until the Lions show me otherwise. I don't think that they're going to be at that top level. I think this is the best year that they could be at the top level, actually. I think this is the last year that they really have a chance. They have to be healthy and things have to go right. And they need that running.
I'm willing to bet money they want. I'm willing to bet money they want.
And I don't think that that's far off, because I think McCaffrey could be washed, but I think those other running backs can do really, really well if you give them like 10 carries. But B, you go ahead on what you think. We're just talking about Brock Purdy. You think it was a good deal? Would you have paid him? That type of stuff. Just go ahead and just say anything you want to.
Looking at the salary cap hit, man. I looked at it how it's broken down. The hit isn't that bad. They can still be able to pay other players coming up. So I mean, he didn't take a team friendly deal, but it was just. It's not a bad contract as people thought. Obviously, Purdy, you know what I'm saying, he ain't one of the elites or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but you can still build around him, and Purdy's shown that he could get to the Super Bowl. I mean, he needs a team to do it. I don't really see the 49ers competing, honestly. I think they're going to take a step back. I think they can still make playoffs, but, like, honestly, I think this is the Rams division to win. They obviously got better. With acquiring Tay Adams and all that, and they had a great draft. I think guys like Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings, they got to step up. They got to really help Purdy out, because obviously you lost Debo, who was awful last year. Yeah, he was terrible, but still, you still gonna miss some snaps. Brandon Ayuk coming off that injury, bro. You don't know how he's gonna really gel in this offense, because prior to him getting hurt, he wasn't looking too good. He's having like a lot of drops and all that stuff, missing training camp and all that. So I hope he's back with training camp, ready to go, got his head right. And George Kittle, we know we're getting out of George Kittle, but I mean, like, the 49ers, like, they haven't really done much in the off season. They had an okay draft, but I still think they still think they finished about second in division because, this division isn't that good. Outside of the Rams and 49ers, I don't do we really trust the Cardinals? No. Like the
That's what I was saying.
The Seahawks, the Cardinals are the most inconsistent team in that entire division. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like the 49ers and the Rams are really the ones that are gonna hit the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like Cardinals they're not gonna do it.
That's what I was saying.
And the Hawks, the Seahawks, they're also inconsistent. They have a good defense, but you don't know what you're gonna get out of Sam Darnold. They brought in Cooper Kupp, which is he even gonna be healthy?
But it's not just for this season. Those other teams that you mentioned are big question marks for the future because who knows where Kyler is going to be in the next 2 years. Also, who knows where Sam Darnold's really going to be because if Sam Darnold's not good there, then they're probably going to try to move off. But there's a chance that he's not. I'm not that.
They don't even trust Sam Darnold enough because obviously they drafted Milroe.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the third round.
Milroe has looked good, bro.
Yeah, they invested in Milroe.
That's a different offense if he start, by the way.
We'll see. We'll see about that one. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, that's a big we'll see, by the way. But
absolutely. He's really raw. He's really raw. You got to coach him up.
To go back, you went off mute. You can go after me real quick. I just wanted to say, I think that you hit the nail on the head, and that's what I was saying before with the Niners still competing this year. I think this year is their best chance to be what they were 2 years ago when they almost won the championship. But as far as the next couple of years, now that you've paid Purdy 50, now that you paid Fred Warner 50, there are some question marks about how deep I think you can make in the playoffs now, because this is what happens when you get your quarterback off a rookie deal and you have to pay your best defensive player also the max money for his position. This stuff gets tough, but I still trust Shanahan to finish second to first to third in the division if it's a tough year and make the playoffs most of these years. But Purdy is like a top 12 quarterback being generous. That's being generous. He's he's getting $50 million. To me, I would have considered rebuilding last year. I would have, because if you could have totally rebuilt the team and made something like you did the last 2 or 3 years, if you would have just, let Brock Purdy walk and traded everybody, invested in picks. You could have kept Ayuk because he's young enough. But, if you would have just really done a rehaul 3 or 4 years down the line, you'd be back in the same position, I feel like, because I still trust Shanahan. But, you can go ahead if you want to.
I'll be honest, when I look at it, this is my bold take because I have at least one per pod. I think the Cardinals going to do good this year. I don't really got a definitive reason behind it, but I think the Cardinals might be able to sneak out the number 2 this year. I do.
See him being good.
I just feel like this. I feel like we have an upcoming breakout season for Marvin Harrison Jr. I feel like Kyler's gonna be able to figure it out. I remember that year when, like I said, when they started off, I think it was 10-0, 11-0. That was the year that Kyler really had good connections with D-Hop. I think this is a chance to have a younger, quicker version of D-Hop and Marvin Harrison Jr. and possibly a better version if he knows how to utilize them this year. I can see them pulling out being the number 2 in their division.
I said the same thing last year, man.
The Cardinals, they were up by 3 games. A lot of Rams players was hurt and all that stuff, and they still found a way to lose the jump. And now the Rams have gotten better. The 49ers, they still got a good roster. If the Cardinals can do it, okay, power to them. But I understand Marvin has packed on some weight. You know what I'm saying? He's put on some muscle. Marvin, we all know how good of a receiver Marvin is. If you unleash him, if you really get him involved in his offense, can they figure it out? I don't know, because I don't really trust the offensive coordinator. You all know.
I like Gannon though.
Gannon's cool, but you know what I'm saying? What is his first year?
Second
year. Okay, so yeah, he gotta really unlock Marvin and get him and Trey McBride. You gotta run the offense through him. They got a good run game too. Honestly, James Conner's a guy. I really like James Conner.
And they got Benson still. They got
Benson. They have some players, solid players, but this team just as a whole is very inconsistent. That's their identity. They'll start.
They just look like they don't belong together.
Yeah, they'll be good one week, they'll be bad the next. Like it's just they're too up and down for me. I can't respect them yet. I watched every single game they played last year. They're too up and down, man.
They are super mid. They're super mid.
They gotta get some real leaders in there to step up and say we gotta find our identity.
Like back when they had JJ, man.
Kyler even said in his interviews, in his post interviews of prior to the season, like he said he wanted to run the ball more. Okay, fine. You want to be a powerhouse and run the ball more, run it through James Conner. That backup, I forget his name, but they got a good backup too. And you want to be a power offense, that's fine. But you know what I'm saying? You got to figure out something, figure out an identity. Because you can't have Kyler throwing it 40 times a game and then give James Conner 15 carries. That ain't gonna work. You can't just rely on Kyler's arm all the time because he can't read the defense quick enough. Can't see. I'm not trying to be funny, but can't see down the field. Like that. He throws balls late. The Marvin Harris Jr. gets picked off. You can't be doing that type of stuff. You got to figure out what you are.
But when Kyler on, man, bro, when Kyler hitting, bro, he hitting, bro. Like
it's not about if he can hit throws to me. Yeah. The problem with this is with the Cardinals, you've got a guy like Marvin Harrison who's uber talented, but just young, and you haven't consistently gone him the ball, and you haven't found a way to. And you speak on the identity part. That should be the identity. That's what the identity was when Kyler was about to win MVP. Was we are throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, and we're not. We're not settling for anything else.
Well, everything y'all saying leads to one thing, bro. At least
to me, what makes Kyler great isn't like what he tried to do last year, which is game managing basically, unless someone was wide open down the field and then just throwing the ball deep. Like it's actually forcing the ball down the field, like more like. And I feel like they try to take that out and try to make him more of not a pocket passer, but they tried to like throw a lot of screen, throw a lot of play action when he's running off, and you needed to develop that with Marvin if you're going to have any chance of making the playoffs, because you need your top end guys to compete. And that offensive coordinator hasn't found a good enough way to implement it. He just hasn't yet. So the idea can be a playoff team for sure, because I thought that they could make the playoffs last year, but I don't think that until they show me. I don't think that they can beat the Rams, because the Rams are a team that they're going to put up 30 points against that offense at least once.
Mm-hmm. The Rams can match with them talent wise, and they're more consistent. Like that's scary. So it's
they don't match. They're better than them.
They're flat out better, like on both sides of the football. Yeah. So it's like
I bet the Niners have a hard time with them, bro. I bet the Niners have a hard time with the Cardinals this year, bro.
Yeah,
I really think that the Cardinals going to take the Niners going to take a step back this year. I do.
Yeah, they will. They will. I still think they finish second.
I see the Niners.
I think it'll be a close battle for second. I think it'll be close.
I don't see it finishing second. This the way the offense is run and the way the games is run this time in the NFL, bro. It come down to having a good offense. You got to score. Yeah. You got to score. It's what's requested. Like, bro, it's too many points being put up. It's all built for the offense to score. So if you're not scoring, how many times you gonna lean on your defense before guys get hurt? Guys not playing, guys get tired. It's just too many factors, bro. This ain't 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean their defense I trust it more than a lot of people, because I actually think Gannon's a good head coach. And I think he's a good defensive mind, but they don't have enough talent to consistently be good enough. They have enough talent to win maybe 2 or 3 games, which is actually saying something, because they don't have a lot of it. Or I'm just saying, I think with the coaching, like they can put up good performances, but I don't think that they're like, even the Rams have maybe more top end talent just because of Jared Verse. Like Jared Verse is somebody that can
facts.
Especially even the corners, like even if you're looking at their DBs, like I like Durant, and I like other dude on the other side.
Fools, I think Fools gonna ball over there, bro.
Bro. They got some talent. The Rams are very talented, bro.
Yeah,
they had a great draft too. They
invested, bro.
Yeah,
they're gonna be a problem.
I never expect them not to have a good draft at this point.
No,
they drafted Verse. I didn't really know who Verse was, to be honest with you, last year.
Yeah, I did.
Jared Verse was good coming out of college. I didn't think he'd be that good, man.
I didn't really even know, because I wasn't watching like that, bro. I didn't really care about college football.
Yeah, that playoffs he turned up. But yeah.
Nah, bro, it's just, bro, when you watch a guy rush the pass and he just naturally, it looked like he came out the womb doing a swim move, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like that, bro. He been like that for a while.
He went to Florida State, right? Florida State.
Yup, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I remember him. He was nice.
I wanted us to get him, bro. I wanted us to get him. The Rams still the players people get.
I mean, the Vikings game was one thing. That was spectacular. But what he did against the Eagles made me realize like this guy could be legitimately top 5.
Yeah. When you go up
That's
against
the
a
best case scenario.
top line
That's
like that, and you had a good name, yeah, you're really doing
that's
something.
the ceiling. But yeah, if you do something, that's what I'm saying. If you do something like that against a solid offensive line, like,
Mhm.
and you exploit them the way that he was looking like a grown man as a freaking rookie. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna doubt him. I'm not doubting him. Like, nah. Because Trey Hendrickson is arguably top 5. Arguably, I wouldn't say he is, but you could argue it. And if you look back at Trey Hendrickson rookie year, there's no way he was this good.
Yeah, no. Trey, no.
But yeah, we talked about Fred Warner like a little bit, but I mean, we all think that Fred Warner should have gotten that money.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, you pay
He's
that.
still
money.
the best safety in the. I mean, safety. He's still the
I'm
best.
about to say, whoa.
Still the best linebacker in the league. For sure.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
Boy, cover so well, you think he's a safety, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
He do.
I don't remember who was trying to down on Roquan. I agree when you're talking about Fred Warner at this point. Like that's the conversation that I'm willing to have. Like, yeah, Fred Warner is clearly better than Roquan at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He better than everybody, bro. He
Better than everybody at this point. Yeah.
Like, and honestly,
He played on
looking
a
at
broke
those-
ankle last year and made plays.
Yeah.
looking at those linebackers list, dude, there's really not a lot of people touching him.
There's
And I
not,
feel like
bro.
that's what makes him a lock Hall of Famer is because these last couple of years.
Linebackers
These
went
last
down.
couple of years, it's been closer, I feel like. But the linebackers position has been declining when it comes to depth, I feel like.
Well, it used to be him and Darius Leonard, but Darius
But
Leonard
that's because a
has
lot
had
more
some injuries.
corners
Had some
and
injuries.
safeties.
Darius
I
was
like,
really freaking good for a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
That hurt my
It's
heart.
crazy how
Balls
he
like
kind
that.
of had that little just like dip and play.
He
Bro,
was-
it's the only
Darius
reason
Leonard was
Travis
Hall of
was safety
Fame
for
worthy.
corners
Like he was
replaced
Hall
him.
of Fame worthy, dude.
Yeah,
When you needed to play, he made it, bro.
he made
Forced
it.
the fumbles,
Degenerative
sacks,
position.
and all that. He was
It's
good.
sad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That shit.
Yeah, he was
Like,
great.
I
He was
think-
great. He was
he
great.
was
I think people look at Ray Lewis, they look at what Levante David's done, and they don't look like linebacker is like running backs. Like these guys, one injury can destroy their careers because
Yeah.
there's so much tax and so much you have to be so fast, and there's just so much you have to do physically as a linebacker. It's like
Yeah.
one
Look
thing.
at Patrick Willis. He didn't play for too long.
And Patrick
Man,
Willis,
He retired at like 30 or
crazy,
29.
bro.
And he
Yeah,
was so good.
but Pat played long enough to he just retired because he knew he was about to fall off a cliff, and he just
Yeah.
well, I don't know.
He
if
said his
knew.
feet couldn't. His feet could. He was.
Bro,
he
did
had
y'all
some
not
issue with
see
his
that
Yeah.
injury that man sustained, bro?
feet. Yeah.
yeah.
That was insane. To have a grown man fold your kneecap backwards, bro.
Yeah.
That ain't supposed to happen, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't
No, I
supposed to
just think. Yeah, it's
Well,
that's
the 49ers keep a good linebacker, don't they?
Man,
They
what?
do.
They
They
draft
went back,
good
think about it.
Yeah.
Even the other, what's his name? The other dude that was next to Fred Warner. I forgot his name, but he.
You
You talking about Mr. Pat? Mr. Pat?
Greenlaw, not Trey Greenlaw, not Devontae. Trey Greenlaw.
Yeah.
You talking about Mr. Pat? Mr. Patrick Willis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patrick Willis.
Navarro
Yeah,
Bowman.
yo,
Navarro
Navarro
Bowman.
bro.
Man,
Oh,
what?
no.
Yeah, Bowman.
Navarro was amazing when
He
Patrick
was
Willis went down.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
I mean, he caught a pick tearing his ACL. Boy.
That
Yeah,
dude
he's
was nice, man.
Yeah, they keep a
And
good
then,
linebacker.
and then, bro, next to Fred Warner,
Greenlaw.
Greenlaw was good.
Greenlaw was nice too. They linebacker core be crazy, bro. They have
Yeah.
They linebacker core be injury prone too.
It
Yeah.
definitely do. It definitely do.
It's like they
There
sold
was
their
another
soul
guy,
for
Talk
them.
about how
Borland.
each and every one of them went down with injury.
You remember
They
that
sold their
26-year-old?
soul for them linebackers, bro.
You remember that 26-year-old Borland or whatever? He was bald. He retired in like 2015-ish, 2016.
know who
He
you're
was good
talking
too.
Nah, bro. Ho. You talking about something from Alabama?
Borland. He's a white guy. He was a linebacker for the 49ers.
No,
for a
not
long
white
time.
dude.
Chris Borland, I think. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Bro, they got another nice ass linebacker from Alabama, bro. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Somehow he
yeah.
kept
The
getting in
one
trouble, bro. And he
Ruben Foster?
Ruben.
Yeah, I think it was Ruben Foster,
Ruben
bro.
was one of the best linebackers in college. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was
Bro, he was supposed to be
really
decent.
different.
Yeah, so
Every
he just-
team got like that position where they always just draft amazing. Like,
Yep.
they definitely got that.
Hey, the Chiefs got their cornerbacks.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think
Bullshit.
the linebacker position, most guys are injury prone. I'm not gonna lie. Most of because even Levante David was injury prone earlier in his career. He just
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No,
Yeah,
I
but-
remember that. I remember that. Levante. I always remember.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
like the first or second years. Didn't he get hurt or something?
He got hurt one time. I'm telling y'all,
I mean,
right?
he
He got
struggled
It's
with
been
it.
playing since I've been in high school.
He might have missed a game
For
or
a
two.
long
But everybody missed a game or two, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody missed a game.
See, but the difference between 49ers hurt and everyone else hurt is that the 49ers going to get hurt no matter what. Dre Greenlaw got hurt coming off the bench.
That's
Yeah, that was a crazy.
Like,
In the
they can do
Super Bowl,
everything
bro.
right. They still gonna get hurt.
bro, trolling.
that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I still think-
Y'all
I
really
still think
let Will Levis injure a sideline measuring guy. Will Levis literally ran into a sideline injury towards ACL. That's how terrible Will Levis was. They got him out of here. Y'all really let that slide too.
You're just
I'll never forget that.
I can't believe the Titans really ran out there for 2 years straight with that man, bro. That's
Two
wild.
Bro,
stages.
in fantasy,
Wait.
listen. In fantasy, I used to go on free agency and pick up whichever defense he was going against.
Okay, that's facts.
I got like
that's
20
fine.
points every week off that defense.
You do, yeah. But no, I think hindsight a little bit because like people were saying, well, not B, I don't think, but a lot of people were saying that he should have started after last year or after his rookie year. After his
I
rookie year.
mean, he was cool.
He wasn't bad.
No,
Yeah, people fell in love after that 4 touchdown game. Let's
yeah,
be
facts.
After that, y'all was sipping the fucking
You know what
Will
I
Levis
found
Kool-Aid, and I told y'all he was garbage.
I was one of them.
I knew he was trash, man.
I told y'all he was
I
garbage.
wasn't fooled by that.
I seen it in Kentucky. I was like, oh yeah, he
Yeah.
trash. I seen all I needed to see. I was like, oh yeah, he trash.
Well, I
He
didn't
gonna never be
like him
shit.
after that game because I was like, bro, he just has D-Hop. Like, I don't care that he had 4 touchdowns. But then I saw him, he threw that pick and he like absolutely hit stick that dude against the Dolphins and they won that game. I didn't like him.
No,
Like,
that was
I
a
didn't
legendary
think he
game,
was
man.
top 10 or anything,
He
but
was
I-
balling. He was balling against the Dolphins. I ain't
You
gonna lie.
better keep making that money on that
He
bill.
picked in that game though. Like he still wasn't like insane. Other than that,
He gonna be holding that clipboard now. That's gonna be it.
yeah, that's where he should be too. Where he should. But yeah, we can get off the.
We should left him like his girlfriend left him on draft night.
Don't do that.
Niners. Yeah.
That girl was so fine too.
Hey, enough Brock Purdy talk, dude. That makes me sick, bro. Brock Purdy 50 mil makes me sick. I'm a hater. No, I'm kidding. All right, so we can talk about the Tush. So, there's been a lot of conversation about whether the rule is fair. We've got a lot of coaches yapping. A lot of coaches have been yapping. Let's be honest, okay? How do we feel about the tush push being fair? How do we feel about how it affects mainly Jalen Hurts' play? But I think also, how do we feel about the coaches yapping too? Like, feel free to talk about any of it. We'll start with B this time.
Sadly, my team voted against it. So I mean, they're cowards for that. I want to put that out. The Indianapolis Colts are cowards for sitting there and voting against the tush push. I am pro tush push. Pause. That's insane. like how could you sit there? I mean, it's football. You know what I'm saying?
And Brandon,
you got a dominant O line. So I mean, you use. I mean, there was no rule against it before. But now that the fact that they're dominant, you want to go against it. Come on now, you figure out how to beat them. Like, it is what it is. And the Bills do the tush push just as much as the Eagles do. Like, people don't talk about that.
and then
Like-
Brandon. The irony is Shane Steichen is your head coach. And he
Exactly.
had
Yeah.
He was one of the
loved it when he was
forefront
there. Come on
he
now.
loved it when
Figure
he
that
was
out.
there.
Figure that out, bro.
No, you
Like,
don't want
I'm pro
Him
tush
and
push.
Gannon.
The Colts are
Yeah.
cowards, man. Let's just be honest. The Colts are the biggest cowards in the NFL. And that's no hate.
All right. Not too much now. All right,
Because
hold
you,
on.
you,
Come on, Mike.
We
We
just lost
just died.
We just lost Ursay. Come on now.
Come
Don't
on,
do that.
man. Come on, bro. Come
Don't
on,
do
bro.
that.
R.P.
all
Ursay,
right,
man.
all right. Let's
RP
no disrespect to Jim. Like, rest in peace, my guy. But like, if we're talking about record, like,
Yo, Mike, you
That might
thinking
actually
he dead, man.
that might actually
Bro.
help. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. But it might help, bro. I can't.
Chill, bro.
B, is that all you want to say, or do you got more about it?
Nah, man, I'm just pro Tush push. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but go ahead.
Fair. Jaden?
I'm not against it. I don't really care, regardless of what they did with it. I don't get why anyone's mad about it though, because how are we gonna punish them for having 6'6", 6'7" O-line? Like, it is what it is. Do I think Jalen Hurts would be good without it? Hell no. But that's my piece on that.
You don't think he'd be mid?
Okay, listen. Let me correct my statement before. I'm not gonna be an ass. I just don't think. I think Jalen Hurts has the same skill set with or without the tush push. It's not. It's a 1 yard play. But all them rushing touchdowns, he wouldn't have the motherfuckers without the tush push. His stats get inflated off that play when it comes to rushing touchdowns.
That's true.
That's fair. You can definitely say that. There's no question. And like real quick, I don't want to interject too much, but you're definitely like I think that it's valuable for him because like you're telling me that you have a specific play where you can get any 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, like that for a quarterback, like that's his play too. Like that adds to his value a ton because a lot of those plays would end up in 3 and outs if they were running the ball with their running back because it's just really hard to get 1 or 2 yards like that consistently. So I think it does definitely add to his value. Definitely.
Yeah, because when you look at Eagles games, like I said, I don't like to go too deep on Jalen Hurts because we all know I don't like him. But it's a lot of situations where they're in the 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 2, 3rd and 2. A lot of situations, and they always get out of it because they got the tush push. So you know. You got to figure out how to stop it. Washington stopped it at one point. The Chiefs stopped it at one point, so it's possible. But I do definitely feel like the Eagles be in a different situation had they not had that play, because they have a lot of situations where we're not getting the first down within the first 3 plays. A lot.
All right, F. Dot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really spend too much time on this. I mean, I'm pro tush push. We even use it. I mean, listen, if you got a problem with it, then use it, bro. Y'all do it. You know, if it's so OP, then y'all should be able to use it and have the same results. It's that simple. Find a way to stop it. Be the first team to stop it. Be the first team to find a consistent way to stop the tush push. You feel me? Nobody will have a problem with it. No, this is funny, bro.
Did you see that? I don't know if
I've seen that. I've seen that.
We'll keep it up till B comes back so B can see it.
I seen that. That shit funny. No, that's facts though, Marlon.
That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
That is fucking hilarious.
No, yeah, that's Marley's the best chatter.
No, that's gonna be the greatest comment we've had.
Marley, man. He always
That is hilarious.
He always here. Shout out Marley.
He always got the funny shit on deck. But Efe, go ahead.
I think we voted against it. It's cool, whatever. We have stopped the tush push once. I just want to see if I can. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this right here?
Boy, Vito.
That's what you do when you don't like the tush push. You invest. You invest in them trenches. If you can say whatever you want, you can vote against it, you can be for it. When you do something about it, that's when you're truly against it. Everybody stop whining. Stop trying to play against the past. Let's rebuild the trenches in football again, bro. Let's make it about getting sacks and stopping the run again. That's when it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, I don't think you got like McVay, all these guys complaining. Like, dude, just get over it. They're not unbeatable. I don't care. Like, okay, bro, like they're really good, and it makes them really hard to stop. But if you put 14 points on them early, and you have the ability to run the ball, or you have the ability to drive the ball down the field in steal time of possession, you can beat them. And it starts with beating those quarterbacks. You have to, because that defensive line is serious. Jalen Carter is serious. Like, it's going to be hard to run on them unless you have a Lions-type offensive line. But, like, you can still beat them if you play the right way and you play complementary football. Like, because at the end of the day, if you put them up 14, what's the tush push going to do if they get it on 4th and 1? Because they're just wasting clock. They're not getting good throws. So you can still beat them. You like, and I think it's also unfair because as much as we trash Nick Sirianni sometimes, and I think that's his play. Bill Belichick got away with this shit for 20 years of doing stuff where people were like, should we ban that? Should we not ban that? And we're going to take away this guy's play. And we already know he's not that good of a coach. Like he's a good coach, but he's not like a super great offensive mind. Like that's a big reason why I got the job. I just think it's if you were going to ban it, you should have banned it when Jalen Hurts won MVP because Jalen Hurts was the best he ever was that season, and that was a big part of it. So, like, you should have banned it earlier. And now you're just going to take away from a coach and a player that you've let for the last 3 years. And I agree. If Jalen didn't have this play, like this year, I think if you took it away early in his career, it'd be different now. But if he didn't,
he got running back stats, bro.
He would struggle probably. You're taking away pretty much his most valuable asset at this point. Like, yeah, he would struggle. I don't think that there's any sorrow in saying that. But I think that, you like just go find something else to like exploit and go do that if you're that mad about it. Like that's what Vrabel did with Belichick. Vrabel beat him on some stuff. You go watch Bus with the Boys. They talk about that game. So you can find a way. You can always find a way. It's sports. I feel like unless it's like steroids or cheating with something like that level of cheating, I think like just taking stuff out. It's like just win. Like you should be able to win regardless.
Yeah, and I heard Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence said this. If you rely on one play to say, oh, we won this game or we didn't win this game because of that one play, then that's already a problem. And like that's already a problem. One play shouldn't determine if you're winning the game or not.
No.
Right.
So it's just like
It never comes down.
In good games, it should though. In real life, in good defensive games, you know what I'm saying? It should. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the one. You know what I'm saying? We could save it for this part of the game. But in high scoring games, bro, highly competitive games, I'm not trying to see that. You don't want to see that.
I think maybe if there was a play that went for more yards, though. Considering it's just a 1-2 yard play, y'all still let him get that close every time.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. Like there's 1,000 other plays that y'all could have made before they did a tush push at the 1 yard line. You know what I'm saying? Or an offense could have scored more. So then, like that tush push wouldn't matter, or they wouldn't even be doing it in the first place.
And if you really want to stop that play from happening, then
you're Frankie Louvu.
Then either sack Jalen Hurts on first and second round, or Frankie Louvu, sure. Either sack Jalen Hurts on first or second down, or stop Saquon Barkley one time and make them pass it on second down.
And then behind 3 yards, bro.
Like, don't get mad because they have Saquon Barkley and like a great offensive line. This is what Emmitt Smith was doing for years when it comes to that type of stuff. Not with the tush push,
and nobody ever tags him for being facts, man.
So yeah, I just think and Aikman was people the way that Jalen Hurts is talked about. They talked about Troy Aikman and they talk about Troy Aikman like that now. And to me, of course, Troy Aikman had a great arm, but when you're talking about making the right plays, when you're talking about avoiding sacks, Jalen Hurts is still really, really good compared to a guy like Troy. It's not like I don't know. I just feel like he gets an unfair amount of hate, but I don't also disagree with the fact that the tush push is really important for him. So that's kind of where I land on that.
I think it just helps with a team because mentally, we're not worried about getting 10 yards every drive or every play. We're worried about getting that 7-8, and we can work from there.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean that just totally it just builds confidence. If you can make every single 4th and 1 like. And you can get there a lot, like that totally changes things. It totally does for your entire team and for your defense because it gets your defense off the field. Like there's so many things that it helps. But yeah, we can move on from this. We're probably gonna have a shorter pod today because we got some guys missing, which is all good. But we can move on to we actually can stay on the Eagles, but we'll move on from the tush push. So. Saquon, this should get pretty interesting. Saquon said that the Eagles are a top 5 team of all time. Do you agree? And what teams are you thinking about when you talk about top 5? And what would you compare them to as well? Are there any old teams that they remind you of? We'll start with B again.
I do think they're top 5 all time. I honestly do. I don't see any holes in their game. The biggest quote unquote question mark is Jalen Hurts, top 7 quarterback. To me, I think about like other Super Bowl winning teams that were good, like the 02 Bucks, they were really good. The Patriots and what was it? 07 Patriots.
Even 04 Patriots was nice.
I'm getting a list up right
Nah,
now.
I like 07 Patriots better. I think they were better.
No, for sure. 07 better. 07 better for sure.
You could throw the 06 Colts in there. You could
07 Pats are clear. No, they don't clear. They don't clear because they're
you
not
say
as
the
deep.
22 Chiefs, the 2022 Chiefs. They were a good team. But I do think they're top 5.
They're not better. Okay, wait. Let's go through them, and we can talk about this for a while.
Are we going? How far back are we going? Are we going?
The 09.
Well, we can. No. So we can figure that out. But
No,
let's just start
20,
with the modern. Let's start with the
22.
teams that we have to get out the way before we do.
All right.
So
I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not bringing.
Let's just do the last 20 years.
Yeah.
07. All right, last 20 years. I think that's what he said too. Actually, I don't know if he said all
since the
time.
2000s.
No, I think he said all time. But regardless, it doesn't matter.
All time, honestly, anything below the 90s, like come on now, they're better athletes now, better teams,
we'll get
better defenses. I don't even trust anything below the 90s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
No, 07 Pats.
You ain't gonna tell me like
They're
the
not
85 Bears when back when dudes had soft helmets and could run. Everybody ran a 4.9. I'm not
60
trusting that.
Steelers, 68 Steelers.
I'm sorry, dude. These plumbers and I'm not doing it.
Okay.
What about the 99 Rams?
Okay, so we got 07 Pats. Wait, 07 Pats, we've cleared that. I do think that the 07 Pats were not as deep at this Eagles team, though. But I do think that their top-end talent was just better. But, okay, so we're not including the 84 Niners in this conversation. No 84 Niners. No Montana. Like, we're not, like, because if we include that team, they're not better than that team. They're not.
Well, if Jerry Rice didn't have Stickum, I think Kenyon Mitchell would have locked him up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, wait. This list gave me old 90s, 80s, and 90s teams, which I
we can go like 84 and up, bro. 85 and up.
Nah, bro. Because do you understand? I think we should stick to the last 20. Bro.
Yeah.
I think
this motherfucker by the time.
I think the Eagles are better than that Packers. Are they even better than that Packers dynasty?
In 2011, Packers was like all time great.
I'm talking about the old Pack. I'm talking about the 90s Packers. I wasn't talking about the.
Man, please. Brett Favre would have threw 5 picks against his defense. Stop it.
Well, Brett Favre
probably still would have won. He'd
have lost that
joker that nobody ever talks about. He just went to He just made so many playoff appearances that eventually he figured it out.
What about 2014 Seahawks? They locking that shit up. I'm not gonna lie.
All day.
Earl Thomas locking that shit.
They were the exact same team. The Seahawks were the exact same team that the Eagles were now.
But I'm gonna be honest.
I disagree, bro. There is no Cam Chancellor for the Eagles. And there's no Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, you can say like
they got Zach Bond.
No, they have.
Zach Bond hitting like a young Bobby Wagner.
I'm not comparing him to Bobby, but I'm saying like he had an all.
He's good, but he's not young Bobby Wagner.
I feel they have a better corner. Of course, Richard Sherman, but Brandon Browner, he wasn't good unless he was holding people. Kenyon Mitchell and having Darius Slay, that's a great corner tandem.
And who you going to compare it to Earl Thomas?
Wait, hold on.
But they didn't have but they didn't have the receivers that the Eagles have though. They did. They
receivers went crazy though, bro.
Yeah,
not like AJ Brown and Devontae.
No. I know, bro. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
they had Goddard too. Like, bro,
they had number Doug Baldwin. That's it.
I'm muting everybody. One second. I'm sorry. We'll continue in 1 second. But Marley donated $5. We have to give that. Thank you for the love, Marley, as always.
Appreciate
hello.
it.
Hello.
And it's definitely a conversation. My bad for muting you. I just wanted
no,
to
you
get
good.
it out the way.
You good.
But go ahead. I'll be back in like two minutes. But you guys go ahead and continue this. The one thing I wanted to say too, Hefe, get off mute. I just want to do that real quick. But I think that the offense for the Seahawks does not compare to this Eagles offense.
Nah.
Defensively, yes. Defensively, it's also similar because you're essentially the real reason why the Eagles were so good was because their coverage was insane. We look at the Super Bowl, their coverage was insane. That's really why they won it. Because if Mahomes is able to not throw picks in that game and you make it a 14-point game, there's a chance they could have blew it. There's a chance. I'm not saying they would have. I'm saying like that coverage is what set them apart. But when you look at the Seahawks, that coverage was just as good. You may not have as much potential and as much young talent, but you look at Richard Sherman, you look at Browner, and you look at the other cornerbacks that they had around him. Those guys were really, really good cornerbacks. Those were like top.
And fellas, I think we forget one of my favorite players from that team. Like we haven't brought him up. I understand they didn't give him the ball on the 1 yard line.
Was it the offensive linebacker or outside linebacker?
Marshawn Lynch, bro.
Oh, I'm be honest.
No,
I don't believe
that.
What you say, Jay?
I don't believe that. I don't believe Saquon's better than Marshawn. And even if y'all think he is, I say this too. I don't.
That's insane.
I don't think
that's
nostalgia,
bro.
Hold on. Wait, there's two. Saquon, right? And the Super Bowl was game planned by the Chiefs. And the Chiefs did not have a better middle linebacker core than the Seahawks have. If Saquon couldn't run all over the Chiefs, he's not running all over KJ Wright. He's not running all over Bruce Irvin. He's not running all over Bobby Wagner. He's definitely not running over Cam Chancellor. He going down.
That's facts. That's for sure. That's facts.
Wait. So
Saquon would go off.
Wait, P. Watch me this ether because you guys always are like, why do you bring up the Cowboys so much? Because I seen it. Did I not see Ezekiel Elliott? Give Cam Chancellor the goods in the preseason his rookie year when Cam Chancellor was going.
He ain't want to do that no more, though, Mike. I know what you're talking about.
You told me.
I know what you're talking about, but Mike, you're talking about one guy. You're talking about bro. That was one of the best rookie running back seasons of all time. It will probably never be copied. Probably never be copied.
You don't have
bro,
to
but that was nah.
You don't it's not the same. So crazy, but like, bro, he would do.
But Eric Dickerson had the greatest rookie running back season of all time. What are we doing? 1800 yards.
No, I don't think so, bro. I don't think.
1800 yards. 1800 yards. That's what we know.
I don't think it's better than
1800 yards at rookie running back is not special.
Bro, what did Zeke run for as a rookie, bro? And doing receptions.
Ho. Is Eric Dickerson better than Zeke Elliott? Yes or no?
Zeke ran for about 2
Okay. So it's the greatest
running back. We're not having that argument. I'm not talking about that argument. We're talking about one
player
season.
that's clearly better. A player that's clearly better than him.
Like clearly.
No, bro, I'm not talking
Eric Dickerson is a top 7 running back.
Bro, no bullshit. This is not even a debate. This is not a debate.
Eric Dickerson one of them ones. Like
this is not a debate. I'm just talking about his one season. He was better.
He had 1,800 yards.
I don't know though, man. Saquon better than Marshawn.
Wait. Let's go back to Saquon. Let's go back to Saquon. I love Zeke, but there is not an aspect of the game at their peaks, which Zeke's rookie year was his peak. That was maybe his second year. His second year was great too, and the offensive line was a little bit worse. It was still really good, but Saquon's still better in every aspect of running back. There is nothing that Zeke does or did that was better than what Saquon was doing, bro. I saw Saquon for years.
If there's a running back I would compare to Eric Dickerson, it is
nothing. With nothing.
Do we think even though the Legion of Boom was a great defense, and so was the Eagles just last year, even with AJ Brown, even with Devontae Smith, do we really think the Eagles will lose against the 49? I mean, if we could put that game, if we could put that game together.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes because when you play Philly, if you got the right team, you can beat Philly. Like let's not act like it was like nobody's beat Philly. That's not true. Teams have beat Philly, y'all. They took some losses. So, they're really.
We're talking about this year, though.
I'm talking about this year.
Okay, fine.
Like, bro, my Bucks put up points. Of course, they didn't have no offense. I'm not getting that, but we put up points on their defense.
Okay,
when their defense, everybody's very high on We put a points on them, bro.
All right, so we're saying the Seahawks are number one, like one of the best.
No,
I think
We're not,
Seahawks.
we don't have to. We don't have to rank them. We don't have to
Seahawks.
rank them. But the Seahawks are up there as top 5
Yeah,
all
for
time.
sure. They
Okay,
up there around
Seahawks,
that
and then who else? 07 Patriots.
07 Patriots, right?
We think Philly couldn't beat the 07 Patriots.
I ain't gonna say that.
Is the can the
I
07
think they
Patriots beat that
could, but
Seahawks
I'm not
team?
betting on them too. I think they could the same way that they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so that's
Exactly.
debatable. That's
Exactly.
debatable, right? Okay. And who else is there?
There's not much from the 2000s from what I'm looking.
What about the 2011 Packers?
Packers, yeah, that Packers 2011.
The two. What about the wait? Why?
Are they the 2011 Packers? Are they a top 5 team?
What about
they
the
were great, dude.
Ravens,
They
bro?
won the
Ravens
Super Bowl
were
with like 20 injuries, bro, and they were key players. Like
the 2011 Packers?
Charles Woodson
even
didn't play.
healthy?
Like they were good. They were good.
I don't know. I might take the 2011.
And he was coming off a good man.
Are we counting? I know offensively the 2000 Ravens offense was ass, but that defense was
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, they destroyed him. Like you can't do that. I'm sorry.
Wait, so what about the?
Bro, I don't know, bro. Because what is Philly gonna do? Run?
I understand.
But, like,
but
it'll
they
get to
didn't
a
have
point-
the
it'll get
corners
to a
to check.
point-
They don't
yeah,
have the corners to check AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They don't.
It'll get to a point where they'll get tired, bro.
Yeah. Dude, you can be tired of. Come on, man.
Wait, guys, I want
stop
this
that. No,
opinion.
I'm not doing that.
I
No.
want this
Trent
opinion.
Bro, we say Trent Dilfer is like an
Yeah,
equal.
exactly. That nigga analyzing right now.
Trent not doing nothing with that
Trent was-
defense. I ain't gonna lie.
He ain't even trying to do nothing, bro.
Trent was.
That nigga couldn't beat me out in a quarterback competition.
was-
Stop
Go
that.
ahead.
He probably could.
Stop
That
that.
nigga was. I don't know how that nigga was trash. Bro.
Wait,
Sorry.
so wait, my question to you guys is: do the Broncos when they won it, or
No,
How
they
did
were
the
all
Broncos-
defense.
You don't
They're all
think it's top 5? I ain't gonna lie, that offense wasn't bad, bro.
no,
Thomas.
or the team. I think. I don't know. if
I'm
we can-
taking
they
up
didn't win the
50
Super Bowl,
touchdown Peyton
but
Manning
the
over
team that
anybody but
lost-
Tom Brady.
No, I'm saying
2016 Falcons?
the team that lost to Seattle. The team that lost to Seattle. Do you think that team?
55 touchdown Peyton.
I
We gotta
really
go. We gotta
can't.
go off. We can't do that. We gotta go off of actual Super Bowl runners. We can't do that.
Yeah, I think
We can do 06 Colts if you guys want to do that.
06
I mean,
Colts.
I don't. I mean,
06
I don't.
Colts.
Reggie
like
Wayne,
Colts.
Marvin Harrison,
Yeah.
Dallas
06 Colts
Clark,
is up there. Dallas
Bob
Clark.
Sanders was playing.
Yeah.
Wait,
They had
but
Kelvin Hayden.
But if you take out the 90s
yeah,
and
that's
the
a good
80s, then obviously it makes the list way more interesting if we implement the 90s and 80s.
Or the
We
02
don't have
Bucks.
to implement a
The 02
bunch of
Bucks.
2016.
I like my
Bucks.
2021 Bucks, bro.
Oh,
But the 02
2021
Bucks
Bucks
were
were
all
good.
defense too. You know that the Bucks.
Nah, they weren't all defense.
2016 Falcons. Devontae Freak, bro.
Wait. So the 02 Bucks weren't all defense?
Oh no, they absolutely were. We talking about
Most def-
the 20.
I said the
What was it,
2021.
2021 Bucks? Yeah.
2021 Bucks, yeah. We beating anybody, bro.
2021
No.
Bucks. Yeah.
That team can compete. That team is in the same aspect with the one team that we said is the 07 Pats. I'm not even.
Yeah, because they freaking bought in they gave
Everybody.
Brady,
Brought
they
in
gave Brady
everybody.
the Infinity Gauntlet. Then like brought in Antonio Brown. They freaking brought in.
That's what I mean.
They bought Rob Gronkowski out of retirement. Like they just gave it to him then, man. They had too much of a star for the cast.
I'm sorry, Cooper DeJean actually that would. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to change it and say that would be a great matchup that I'd love to watch. Cooper DeJean versus AB.
Yeah, no, he getting cooked, bro.
He
getting cooked, bro.
running him up.
AB,
Bro, I hate AB for walking off the field on us, bro. But that's one dude you
AB's
cannot
routing
cover,
him
bro.
up.
Okay,
Come out of retirement right now and rock Cooper
Hey,
DeJean up.
Jaden
And that's facts. That's
Jaden
facts.
trying to get in.
I feel like-
Jaden trying to get in. Jaden's
That's
in the
facts.
backstage.
Skill wise.
Okay, so we have the Hawks. We have the Pats. We have the Bucks.
What about the Falcons? 2016?
Yeah, no, they gotta be in there, bro.
They got
Mahomes knew went crazy that year.
I understand, but we got to go off Super Bowl winners, though. We got to go off Super Bowl
Oh,
winners.
we can't just go people who just went.
Nah, yeah, we can't do that runner-up stuff. Nah.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you.
I'm cool with that, though. I'm cool with that.
So, I mean, honestly, we're struggling now. So we got to put them in top 5, right?
Wait, are we
At
including
least.
90s,
Wait, the
80s,
06
90s
Colts?
teams?
The
You said
06 Colts.
yeah.
Do we feel they're in there?
I
They
feel
could've
like
won
they could be in there. 06 Colts.
06
that one Saints team.
Colts. 06 Colts for sure, dude. For sure.
06 Colts, they could be in there. 06 Colts. 06 Colts, they could be in there. 06 Colts. 06 Colts, they could be in there. 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 06 Colts, they could be in
For sure. Wait. Yeah.
Number
what?
4? The past 20
The
years?
Saints.
Yeah.
We gotta. I don't know. I ain't gonna say that.
Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. But no, the 06. Wait, the 06 Colts should definitely be in there though.
Yeah,
Because
06
They had a star-studded team. They had a
my
star-studded
thing
team.
is, honestly,
Freeney and Mathis, Marvin and
Yo,
Reggie.
Jaden trying to get in the.
oh,
yeah.
my fault,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, let me know if y'all see that. My bad, Jaden. No. So before and Jaden, you interject with what you wanted to say too, but I think the 06 Colts are the same narrative that this Eagles team was. You're talking about, and I looked at Peyton Manning.
No. Everybody knew Peyton was him. He just had to. He just had to get over that hump.
B. Hold on. I'm saying narrative. I'm not saying talent. I'm saying narrative because I looked at those Peyton Manning playoff stats, and that year he wasn't even that good. He wasn't even good in the like. That's what I mean. Like you had a team.
What you mean? He came back on Tom Brady after 17 down. He was on fire.
Okay, but
that AFC Championship, he was a dope.
Fair. That
bro, I'll take that Tom Brady over the Eagles too.
But was that his great game though? Didn't he have?
Dude, that was a great game. Coming back 17 down was a good game.
Did he have picks in that one though?
He threw 1 pick. Yeah. He
had a kind of like Lamar last year game, but he won it instead of.
I ain't mad at 1 pick if you bring me back.
No, I'm not mad.
I ain't mad at that. I let that go.
No, I'm saying that his numbers just weren't. When you look at his numbers, they weren't like all time great in the playoffs. And the reason why I say that is because that team was good enough to where Peyton just had to play at a certain level. He didn't have to be peak Peyton Manning to win.
He didn't have to. Have to put up 300 yards a game.
That's why I'm saying the
he
narrative.
Could put up 250
we all
and
know,
be fine. Like that's cool. I'll let that go.
That's why I'm adding them in the conversation because we all know that Peyton Manning is better than Hurts.
Wait, but the question with this: do you think that in that situation that Jalen Hurts would come back though?
What do you mean?
No.
Like I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm just like.
No, Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Even when it comes to like when you're comparing Jalen Hurts, like fourth quarter comebacks, like being able to like be a game changer. Hell no, he's not comparing to Peyton. Peyton has a lot of playoff struggles, but that was mainly because his offense. Marvin Harrison was not the best in the playoffs. He wasn't the same player he was a lot of the time. There was some moments where he was really great, but I'm saying like. There was certain moments where he played really tough defenses. He was getting sacked like that. A lot of those games that he played, the stats don't look good in. It's hard to really to really like knock him. And
his defense wasn't as good either. Like he didn't have that many great defenses.
To Manning's playoff stats because Manning was coming against those Patriots and Ravens defenses so consistently in the playoffs. That's like a quarter of his games.
He had no problem with those.
A lot of those games were bad, but he
had no problem with the Ravens. His biggest problem with the Steelers and the Patriots.
He's a cook us, bro.
No,
he had no problem with the Ravens.
I'm not like he might have gone. I don't know what he went against the Ravens. He might have gone.
Only game I remember us playing good against Payne was the miracle in Denver, bro. That's what.
But I'm saying like when you come across defenses like that, you might win the majority, but your stats are still going to look tough when you lose because they're so good. But go ahead, you guys go ahead first.
Do we put the 2018 Eagles there? I mean, they won with Nick Foles coming out to play goddamn quarterback.
No, it's not the same, man.
But not top 5 though. I don't know.
I mean, out of the 2000s,
their defense was good. Their defense was good.
Their defense wasn't like this though. It was absolutely not like this.
Yeah,
it definitely wasn't like this though. I give you that.
Like this.
No, but Brady definitely threw for like what was it, 500?
Yeah, like Brady was doing what he wanted on that defense, like legit.
Hey, so was Nick Foles though. I ain't never seen Nick Foles play that.
Yeah, Nick Foles was cooking.
Lily got him paid. Lily got him paid on the Jaguars, and he stuck it up on the Jaguars.
Eagles team is essentially built in a similar way that this team is built, but this team that the Eagles have is way better.
Yeah,
I just think that's
because the Eagles built from the trenches up, bro. Tell me.
Oh, how about do y'all like the 2009 Steelers? That Steelers team that
most definitely.
Of course.
Most definitely. Wait,
so there was that
man, let's keep it a bean. Quinyon Mitchell is locking Santonio Holmes up. He ain't gonna there's no way you're driving down.
Ain't that fine. Who won't cover Mike Wallace?
What?
Who won't cover Mike Wallace?
Big play Slay? Big play Slay?
Darius
Slay is absolutely gonna lock him up.
Yeah, he was just a deep threat. He was a fast.
And Rashad Mendenhall, get out of here. Like, no,
Bro,
does
Mike
that mean
Wallace
no?
gonna run down the field 50 times a game, bro. It doesn't even matter.
Hines wasn't there at that time, right? Hines was
Wait,
Nah,
wait,
Dan
wait,
Hines
wait,
was
wait.
definitely a
He's
dub.
gone.
It would have definitely been a dub.
Wait.
Hines
I'm gonna
was
have
crazy in the
to,
block.
wait. I'm gonna have to use my powers again because I just heard Mike Wallace being in the same sentence as Darius Slayer. Are we serious?
Mike Wallace, I got Mike Wallace.
He had
With the
iffy
bird,
hands. He was just number speed. He had
I mean, I
iffy
like
hands.
Mike Wallace, but he was number speed though. He was.
Yeah, nothing but. I ain't saying he was AB. I'm just saying he was real.
Slay's locking that up. He's playing off coverage on him.
And
All
Blankenship,
game off coverage.
people, y'all never give Blankenship, whatever that white boy's name is, Blankenship.
Man,
Y'all never give him
it's
the
just
credit he
is
deserves.
really that good, B?
Because you don't get cooked like that. He does not get cooked like that. He's a
Hey,
he
that's-
a
know,
dual job safety.
No, he was
He's
getting
a
That's
cooked
dual
by
for
job
the
safety.
defense too, bro.
He was getting cooked by Ertz. He was getting
Ryan
cooked by
Clark,
Ertz.
you right, Q. Ryan Clark hitting shit. He hit.
Yeah,
shit.
shout out. No. And Ryan Clark was a good safety in general, right? Hey,
was,
look,
really
Ryan, with the stuff that Ryan Clark be saying, and I'm not saying I disagree or agree. I'm not saying either, by the way. But people forget how good he was. He was.
Ryan Clark was great. Yeah, he was an unsung hero in that defense.
Straight dog.
That boy will whack you. I tell you, Troy was a nice guy.
Troy
Ryan would whack
Ryan
you.
was
Like,
smacking
get you out of there.
and James Harrison, they smacking you.
Bro, I was watching when they was somebody he was doing the Indian dance on Slim with James Harrison.
I'm gonna lie, Steelers back in the day had some hard hitters, bro.
But this is the reason why I'm struggling with the Steelers is when you talk about
Honestly, I think they punished Philly, bro.
when you talk about those Super Bowl teams,
Punished?
I just don't.
Nobody's punishing Philly, bro.
Yeah,
They're
nobody.
2000. You're not punishing
Bro,
Philly.
for
That's not
one,
happening. Like,
James Harrison versus anybody is a nightmare, bro. And I'm just thinking about him hitting Saquon, bro. That's not,
bro. So you're telling me?
Even look at their losses this year, bro. Nobody really like.
Wait, I have a couple things to add to that. I have a couple things to combat to that because number one, when I look at the receiving core for those Super Bowl winning Pittsburgh Steelers teams, not the triple Bs, but the Super Bowl winning teams, the receiving core is going to struggle against that Eagles. They are.
Yeah,
and the other thing, of course, James Harrison is a monster. But let's not act like he's going against some slim pickings now. He's going up against Mailata. He's going up against arguably the best tackle duo of all time.
Mike.
Nah, James Harrison still running.
I was with you, but you lost me. James Harrison is the strongest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, James Harrison destroyed every. Bro, I might have forgot this. James Harrison destroyed every quarterback for Cleveland, bro.
Yeah.
No, y'all forgot this. James Harrison made the NFL safe today. He used to hit people so bad.
But they had to find him out the league, bro. They find him out
the NFL said, okay, all right, we got to change the rules up on this head-to-head collision shit because this nigga is killing people every week. Muhammad Massaquoi will tell you. Brandon Whedon will tell you. He used to destroy people every single week, bro.
Hey, B. Don't forget Colt McCoy, bro.
Bro, Colt McCoy, like, bro, he would destroy people every week, bro. Like, they literally changed the game for James Harrison because he was whacking people every week, bro. That man should be in prison right now. I swear to God.
Bro,
that man should be in prison right now doing 17.
Nah, James Harrison was playing the longest job, bro.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Okay. I see Q in the chat, Q. I'm not disrespecting James Harrison. I'm not saying that James Harrison. I'm not saying James Harrison's getting 0 sacks, bro. What I'm saying is that he might get 1 or 2, but he's gonna have a tough time. Like it's not gonna be an easy game. It's not gonna be an easy 2 sacks, bro. It's not. Like
I think it is. I really do. I think it is.
As good as James Harrison was, bro. James Harrison could very well power both of those guys, but he could also but Mailata would have the better chance in being able to deal with him physically. But you're talking about both of those. Number one, Dickerson. Well, every time
you talking about power through, Mike.
Every time the ball.
James Harrison ran back. What was it? A 70, 80 yard touchdown?
Wait, not what's his name? Not
He the only pass rusher I've ever seen with no moves.
What's up?
Just push. Just push. Look at James Harrison. No, I want everybody to do their homework. Look at James Harrison film. There was no finesse move, none of that. He's just pushing you. I never seen that shit before. Nah, nigga, just move. I'm gonna just move you. He moved niggas like a chair. Like you ever slide a chair across the room? That's what he would do. All right, just slide the chair. Nigga, that nigga was different, bro. Big ass head and everything. That nigga was different.
He has the best. He's the best workouts of all time.
Nigga had no moves. They had no moves. Just push.
Yeah, he's like Trey Henderson, baby. That's what Trey Henderson is. Trey Henderson is no moves either, baby. It's just all
fucking moves, bro. Just all strength.
James Harrison was more powered. Henderson is more of a combination of speed and power. Yeah. It's that both of them don't care about moves. That's one thing they don't care about.
Yeah. They just care about
Harrison didn't care about.
Imagine James Harrison had moves though. What if he had a swim like? Oh my god.
I mean, if he actually got bad, bro. I just think the thing with James Harrison is he got put in a really tough position early in his career, and he didn't have time to develop. He kind of just had to whatever he was best at, he had to do, and he had to.
He was either like a 7th round pick or went undrafted.
He was
or whatever.
undrafted.
And they cut him. Oh yeah, he was, and they cut him. And then they brought him back, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna work. Like I'm gonna work. James Harrison, I love his story, bro. Like he literally worked his ass off and became a star at defense.
Got that dog in him.
Yeah.
He spent. I think
James Harrison a straight killer, bro.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Q English just brought up. He was dealing with Joe Thomas, bro, for decades.
Yeah, I seen that in the comments too, bro.
He was dealing with garbage quarterbacks though. With garbage quarterbacks.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jalen Hurts to be on concussion protocol.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Jalen Hurts don't know when
rules are different. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Harrison gonna hit him.
Poor Devontae Smith gonna get whacked because oh my god. That one pass they throw to him. James Harrison is lighting him up.
Saquon, bro. Saquon chip blocking, bro.
Saquon be all right. He'll be fine, but my God.
No. Saquon gonna go back to the New York injuries.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That chip block.
That chip block, yeah.
Listen. James Harrison the only D lineman that's gonna take the fine for fun. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah, he's still boy. That fine money different.
He said that when he was in the interview, bro. He definitely said back in the day, bro. He said, "I only know one way to play football." Bro.
Say, you gotta get that man. Yeah, you gotta put that man down. You gotta put him down like a dog.
Bro, they fined him out of the league, bro.
You gotta put him down. You gotta put him down like a rabid dog.
No,
that boy's different, man.
He is.
I'm trying to find some more teams.
So 2010 Saints.
No, they don't.
That's crazy.
2010 Saints was the most balanced team they ever had, I feel like, on both sides, but they're like, yeah, they had Breeze, but the top end talent is like Breeze would have to literally carry. Like he'd have to have a Tom Brady game.
Nah, bro. Their defense was actually nasty.
Yeah, Jonathan Vilma and them, their defense was good. They had Jabbar Greer, but again, they didn't have the receiver talent. I understand Marcus Colson. We all love Marcus Colson, but he's just not good enough, man. I'm sorry.
Bro, hold on. Ain't you forgetting Jimmy Graham?
I understand. No, Jimmy Graham wasn't there then. He wasn't there then.
Was Sproles there?
Yeah, Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy wasn't there then. I think he got drafted like a year
No. Am I thinking about Jeremy Shockey, bro? I think I'm thinking about
Jeremy Shockey. Yeah. He was old and washed up by then.
Yeah,
like Rob, they had Colston and Robert Meacham. Come on now, like they're not doing enough. And they had Pierre Thomas. Like Pierre Thomas ain't there nobody. Stop.
And like,
man, be real. Where Pierre Thomas come out of in college? You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
Don't do that to me, B.
You can't tell me.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
That's a great question, man.
What do we feel about this?
Brian Dawkins, easily. I don't
know if it's that.
Listen, bro, James Harrison is only going to meet you at the line of scrimmage. You can run into Brian Dawkins anyway, bro.
If I see two of them niggas fighting the bear, I'm helping the bear. I'm helping the bear every time. Them niggas are insane. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Look,
when I heard James Brian Dawkins say thank you, Jesus, for tackling somebody, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, when you imagine somebody giving you CTE and praising God afterwards, bro.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, no, Hefe. Okay, James Harrison is he ain't talking. He's just doing. And if he talking, he's laughing at you. but he's also killing you. But Dawkins,
Yes.
Let's not forget how Dawkins came out onto the field, bro.
No. I'm about to say
Dawkins not okay.
No.
Facts.
They call that nigga the Wolverine, bro.
No.
Dawkins is not
They call that
okay.
nigga the Wolverine.
Wait, hold on.
You know, nasty, you gotta be called
Dawkins
the
played
Wolverine.
with mental illness and hate
Wait,
in his heart.
Jaden,
Yeah,
hold on. I
yeah.
know.
He did, man.
And you can clearly tell he was a huge churchgoer. That's the sad part about it. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah. You know why? Because he hit somebody and he said,
Yeah, boy had to repent, didn't he?
"Thank you, Jesus."
Bro, then he praised God, bro. He said, "Thank you."
Forgive me,
He
Father,
was
for I have
grateful.
sinned. That's insane.
Nah, he ain't said nothing about
Hallelujah,
it.
thank you, Jesus.
That's insane.
And
Bruh.
that I forgot who it was, but it was like
Brian Dawkins truly
Oh
believed
my
he was doing God's work on that field.
I'm telling you, bro. He really did, bro. He really did.
You gotta put that nigga down, man. You get a nigga like that cannot play in the NFL. He just can't. It's just not. It's not right. It's not right. It ain't
He was
right,
a
man.
different beast. I ain't trying to run into no Brian Dawkins.
hallelujah.
That's like giving a schizophrenic nigga a
Jesus.
knife. You can't do it. It ain't right.
Brian might hit you while you on the bench. Just
It ain't
so you
right.
look wrong.
He probably,
Yeah, right,
he probably was crazy in practice, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. Brian the type dude to truck the ball, boy.
All right, so we giving Eagles top 5 though.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
They got
wait.
Yeah.
I have another team. That y'all can debate. The greatest show on turf.
I was thinking that, bro, but I don't know, bro.
I was thinking it, but I just don't think they have enough.
They had no defense. Let's keep it a bean. They had no defense. Like, let's keep it a
There's a
bean.
reason they
I
were great
thought
going.
about that too, Mike. I thought about that too, but when you look at
that offense was crazy. Though.
The offense was crazy, but the defense was horrendous.
yeah, bro. Like they all right, let them go score. We're gonna go score right behind.
Yeah, like
And the
Yeah.
truth,
And then in the fourth quarter, we're gonna play for real.
I think they would score so. I ain't gonna water break like that. That's how good. Oh my god, Isaac Bruce and them.
Yeah.
That is a special offense.
but the issue with that
In the
team is
90s too,
that
that's
they're a
crazy.
shootout team. So if they get stopped
Yeah.
once or twice against one of the
That's
others,
game.
that's game.
Yeah, and teams like that never match up well. Like you never see a high power offense don't just win a Super Bowl all the time. Like it doesn't happen.
Oh, all the
Guys,
time.
look at Joe Burrow right now.
Yeah.
Look at Joe Burrow right now, bro.
That dang freaking offense.
There's a reason it was a great show on turf. Every game was 45-48.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Wait, they don't match up well offensively though.
No, they do.
They matched a lot of teams well offensively, but a lot of these teams have defense. And
Yeah.
And Philly got a good defense. Really good
That's
defense.
true, but
Philly got a good defense.
Hey,
Now, as far as offense, I'm saying is right now they have a better offense. Clearly, like Kurt Warner was clearly. Kurt Warner was.
No,
was-
let me take it a step farther.
Yeah, absolutely.
They match up.
Absolutely.
Let me take it a step farther. They match up really well with that Eagles defense because Marshall Faulk against those linebackers in the quick pass game. Good luck in the red zone. Good luck. Now, do they win? I don't know because
No, I don't think they win.
But-
I don't think they win.
And
I
you
think
know who
that
I take
defense
over
gets
Philly?
stopped.
You know how I take over Philly? Give me that same Rams team with Aaron Donald and Von Miller. I don't care what they got on offense. It doesn't really matter.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, they're top 5. I mean, in the 2000s, I mean, there's no reason to not put them top 5. There's just no reason to me because the Eagles team before that is arguably top 5, and they're just better. Like the defensive line has Jalen Carter. They're built the exact same way defensive line wise, but they have Jalen Carter. The corners are better. Their offensive line is better. Everything's better, except even the quarterback's better. I don't care that Jalen. Nick Foles was great. I love that for him. Okay, move on. He's
I
not.
can't believe they
He's,
won with Nick Foles.
he never had an MVP season like Jalen Hurts should have had, and that's coming from a Cowboys fan.
I mean, but the thing is about the Eagles, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think a little bit of my bias with Jalen Hurts comes because of how successful Carson Wentz was that year. It's just I feel like you can throw a lot of quarterbacks into this Eagles team.
Carson Wentz was great though. Well, not great, but Carson Wentz was a good quarterback when he was good.
Yeah,
The thing with Carson Wentz was injuries.
He was, but the question
It was
is like,
injuries and the team. The team
how
was good.
little quarterbacks do we feel like won't be successful as an Eagles quarterback, like in these situations they've been put in?
I mean, I think that's not like
I feel like we can drop. I'm being honest. We can drop a whole bunch of quarterbacks in this Eagles offense. They be successful. It don't take a
I
lot.
don't think nobody really disagreeing with that. It's just more so like he still shows you that he can at least be really, really good. Like when he's playing, like he has those moments where he's like really, really good. Like I do agree. Like you could throw like 10, 15 quarterbacks in there. They'd probably do the same thing. But it's
You
just
could
like
probably throw 8. You could probably throw the top 10 in and they could win a championship.
for sure.
You can throw like the top 20.
The rest of them, I'm not sure.
Top 20, I don't know about that. I don't know about 20.
I don't even think the top 15.
Because you don't really. I'm not saying that they're gonna win it, but I just feel like that's a team you really got to know how to not be dumb. Like it's just don't throw the ball. Like really, just don't throw the ball away. That's it.
But
That's all it is.
I'm asking this question. It's a genuine question. Does Jared Goff win the Super Bowl last year? Because Jared Goff, what we saw against the Commanders, you're telling me in a game like the Packers or the Rams game that he's not dropping one of those?
I don't think last year was who he was though. I mean, honestly,
Are you sure?
The year
We've
no.
seen
Stop.
Jared Goff.
The year prior to that, he played a great game against the 49ers, but they ultimately just lost because the 49ers had the ball last. Don't act like
we've seen Jared Goff
That
take
was
the
his
Rams.
best
But what
game.
happened in the Super Bowl?
I can't be like he can't.
Super Bowl, he was awful. The only two
awful
bad
in the
games
Super
I've
Bowl.
seen him in the playoffs was the Super Bowl and last year. Like other than that, he's played fine. Don't make that his narrative where he just chokes all
All
the
right,
time.
the
That's
Saints
not fair.
game he was okay, but the Saints could have won that game too.
I think the thing with Jared Goff is that we've seen Jared Goff's been to the Super Bowl before, so I'm not saying. I feel like you give him a team like the Eagles, he can still take that team somewhere. You know, it all comes down to my big thing is if you stop Saquon, who's stopping AJ and Vontae? If you stop AJ and Vontae, who's stopping Saquon? And if you manage to stop,
I don't know about that one, Jay. I don't know if
we see
Jared Goff making Philly better because if you look at the Lions, they're not too short of what Philly got right now.
No, they're definitely not. But I don't think it's about making them better. It's about not making them worse.
I think,
that Philly team is so good that you don't have to make them better.
but
You
I ain't
don't
gonna lie,
make
as a
them worse.
playoff, though, Jaden, as a playoff performer, bro, I ain't gonna lie, Jalen Hurts clears Jared Goff.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
We was talking about
For sure.
like playoffs by itself, just playoffs.
He let the Commanders perform.
So if we saying like, can he lead them? Can he not fuck up in the playoffs? I don't know. Jared Goff can't fuck up in the playoffs to where he's going.
We saw teams do well against a Smitty and AJ Brown. We saw that.
But then they get fucked up by Saquon. It's like a vice versa. You can't stop.
Yeah.
all. That's
You
the
can't
thing.
stop all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, as far as
Yeah, you
pretty
can't.
hard.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Pretty
about.
hard.
It's not about making them better. And like I'm not saying he will in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to just go out and say that. That's a whole different stage. But I am saying that I believe there'll be playoff success with a whole lot of other quarterbacks because you just have to make sure not to make them worse.
Yeah, you don't need to elevate the team.
Yeah, you don't need to make that team better. Just
Yeah.
don't make them worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not mad at that.
But in the playoffs though, you kind of have to elevate your play because the game plans that these teams are coming in
Most
with,
definitely.
you know, they're going like the quarterback got to step up at some point. You gotta have an all great team, but Jalen Hurts, there was some moments where he had to like kind of make a play.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially in the Super Bowl. Especially in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
if you
No, that's the fact. No, in the Super Bowl they would have lost because he would have folded. He would have cried by far.
Yeah,
'Cause he had,
for
that's
sure.
they had to
look,
pass
and the
ball.
conference championship too, because look, the Eagles were the way better team, but we've seen what Jane Daniels can do when you give him the opportunity to come back. So he played well enough to really extend. Obviously, Saquon got like struck it open for them on that big run, but
Yeah.
Hurts continued that, and then he just took it. He took it too far for them to come back. I think I also give him credit for that. But
I
yeah,
definitely agree with that.
your statement is fair. It's fair, and I also don't disagree. And I also think that we talked about it earlier, but the Eagles are a beatable team. They are beatable. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it was the year before, but I seen the Cowboys in Gerald smack Philly in the mouth. I seen them smack Philly in the mouth like the year before last year. Not this
The
year.
issue with that is though that their defense improved greatly over that year.
But
I think went from like
they
bottom
being
10
though,
to
Mike,
top
but are they
5.
being
Specifically their secondary, bro.
Like, dude, I think they were like bottom 5.
No,
last year.
and Jalen Carter, their whole team. Jalen Carter was better too. Last year,
That's what I'm
Jalen
saying,
Carter was
bro.
like significantly better last
Significantly.
year
Look
than
what
he
they
was.
put around him, bro. Nolan Smith. I think his name Nolan Smith. He went crazy in the playoffs, bro. And he was coming along as the season went on. He went crazy.
Even that linebacker core with Dean and I know
Yeah,
Dean got injured and stuff.
No,
But
their team sucked. Their linebackers sucked, not their team.
Yeah,
Their
their linebackers did.
Like
So
the
they was
Eagles,
dead
like the
about
players that they had
until they tried out
got
Zach
better.
Bond, they really found something. But
I'm just saying, if you can beat their corners, Marley. I'm just saying when people act like that,
that's
you
what I'm
guys are
saying. That
unbeatable
wasn't
and
really
it's
the same
unfair.
Philly team.
I'm not saying that. I'm not really saying that as like a point. I'm just saying like if you can attack Philly's secondary, which is hard, but if you have like a talent like the Rams do, I feel like the Rams can do that. I feel like there's teams that can still attack that secondary. They're a young secondary, but they're a really talented secondary. That's
hey,
how
Marley, you know what Tampa do to y'all too, bro. You know how we play y'all.
well, okay, Hefe, we just like that was the year before too.
Nah,
They lost to the Cardinals that
we
year.
beat
too.
them last year. We also beat them the last 2 times we met them.
We beat them last year. Yeah, Hurts was bad in that game too. Yeah. Was Hurts bad? I can't remember. He was like mid or some shit. No. No Giants teams. I just saw this comment. The 2000. Yeah, no Giants teams will ever be in the conversation to be top 5 in the 2000s. They just can't be.
Yeah, I figured out
Only because they won because Eli just played way better than he ever had in his career, and like that's pretty much why they won. As good as their defense was, like they won because Eli just like went ridiculous. And I mean, in the Super Bowl is a little different story, but I just don't think that they can do what they did against the Patriots to this Eagles team because, like, that 07 Patriots team was great, but in the play in that Super Bowl, they really struggled because they couldn't run, and Brady just wasn't being all time great. So the combination of that really screwed them over. But yeah. Anyway. The last topic, and then we'll get out of here because we'll make it a little quicker pod. But the Bears re-signed Joe Thuney. Or not re-signed, they extended him. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because, you got Ben Johnson there. You got the addition of Colson Loveland. As much as I when we had the conversation about the Bears drafting Colson Loveland, I was downing their receiving core, but they still have Odunze coming back this season after a solid stretch of games at the end of the year. They got DJ Moore, who I feel like should be revitalized this year. And if he's not, you can just pack him up and send him somewhere. But do we think that Joe Thuney is going to be what he was the last couple of years? Do we feel like that the Super Bowl performance that he just had, although it was one game, although it was against a really good defense, do we feel like that that's something that could be coming in the next year? Is that performance that he's going to have, or is that kind of just a blip?
I think
we'll start with Hefe. We'll start with Hefe this time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. The Bears scare me with anything they do. Ben Johnson got to show me. He got to show me that he's down there to make a difference. Like last time, Bears did anything effective was what with Lovie Smith, I believe. And when they had any consistency, when their name meant something, I'm waiting for that.
All right, F-Dot.
I ain't gonna lie. I got high hopes for this Bears team. I'm not saying they're gonna go crazy and go far in the playoffs, but I think they can win 9 to 10 games, like 8 to 10, the 8 to 10 range. I think he's gonna be all right. I don't think he's gonna have the performance he had in the Super Bowl. I think he's gonna be okay. He's a good veteran. Ben Johnson's gonna make sure that whole offense is in sync. So I'm really excited to see that offense, man. I want to see how that offense looks. I want to see how Caleb look in his second year. I think things can really turn around for the Bears. Give them a couple years, 2-3 years. I think this year they're gonna really make that leap. Maybe get in the playoffs, first round, might do something, but I think he'd be all right. Thuney gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Jaden?
I think Joe Thuney gonna be fine. I'm gonna be honest. Eagles is a good team. I can't really be one to down him for that.
Yeah.
I also think Joe Thuney being a vet is gonna help them other linemen. It's gonna get them where they need to get. It's gonna be a great mentor. I also feel like a underlooked thing with having a veteran lineman, especially when they play with an elite quarterback. He's going to help Caleb Williams progress from stuff that he's heard Patrick Mahomes saying or doing. It's going to help Caleb Williams greatly.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have an 11-12 win season this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah. I agree. And what Marley said, yeah, I posed the question like that, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I do think that you might have to worry at the end of the contract whether or not he's still good, because sometimes left tackle, sometimes or offensive lineman in general could kind of just fall off really hard at some point, and you don't really know when. But I think that the reason why I had this as the thumbnail and I thought this was interesting is because I do believe in Ben Johnson because of not only what he did last year, but what he's done so far. I feel like the Colston Loveland pick was like definitely kind of like extreme. A lot of people didn't think that they were going to do that, but based off of the offensive line signings as well, they've shown that they're actually trying to implement a plan, that they're trying to do things that are going to help Caleb Williams improve. I think the biggest thing last year is Caleb Williams as a processor, Caleb Williams in the pocket was really big trouble. And I think that they improved the offensive line, not only to protect him, but to start running the ball more, because I feel like what they need to do is get a consistent run game and be able to use Caleb Williams as a playmaker like you would Kyler Murray. That's what Caleb Williams need to be used like until he figures it out in the pocket. And I feel like Ben Johnson is going to do that because they use Jared Goff in the play action. They just didn't use him as a playmaker because he's not a playmaker. But I feel like a lot of those plays that they're running, they can just have Caleb Williams like extend it, to where he can also run as a threat as well.
Man.
And if you can use RPOs and stuff and that was also the problem is that the Bears tried their best last year getting an offensive coordinator like the one they had, which was like RPO heavy, but he didn't run good plays. He had bad plays, and he didn't have good enough talent. The question is, can Ben Johnson get something out of this run game to where you can make those RPOs work and that play action work? And I feel like their running back group is a question mark. They didn't get anybody in the draft, right?
I think they just got Swift. They didn't get anybody in the draft.
They did get another running back.
Swift is like mid to me because he can get the right holes when they're there, but he has no ability to extend it past that. He just does. He doesn't have like the Eagles made him look really like we talked about Jalen Hurts looking really good than he actually is. DeAndre Swift looked way better than he actually was in Philly because of the holes that he was getting. So I feel like that's a question mark. But I mean, if Caleb can throw for 4,000 and not get sacked a lot and throw maybe 10 to 12 picks and have that playmaking ability, I mean, there's no question that they're going to contend. I just need to see how good the Lions are. If the Lions are the way that they were last year, it's going to be hard for them to make the playoffs because they're going to have to play well in the division and also do well in the regular season. They're going to have to win at least 10 games. But
I think the Vikings got kind of question marks because they got JJ coming in. I don't know how he's going to kind of shape up the whole team. So I think they could at least be the third best at most. And then the Packers are still always like, you never know with the Packers. Like, they could.
I think the Packers. I
just want Sam Darnold to make the Vikings elite. So at this point,
I think we haven't talked about Jay Love as much as we could have this offseason so far, and that's mainly because I feel like he's kind of overhyped. But I feel like one of these years, I feel like he's going to take a step up because I still feel like he has that top 10 potential. I just feel like he's not there right now, but I feel like in the next 3 years, he's going to take a step up. And I mean, it just depends on what Golden can be for them too.
I think he can really help Love out, man. I like him and Reed. Like him, Reed with Wicks, it's a decent.
It's a good situation too because he doesn't even really have to like be a starter.
Yeah,
he doesn't really work the receivers like that. He'll have a couple games where he'll play a lot, probably a couple games where he won't, and then most of the other games he'll play decent.
That could possibly be the best division in football, that or NFC East.
It probably will be. I think the NFC. I think there's a chance the NFC East is better because there's always the thing about like a division that wasn't as good the year before, like coming in and then not playing as good a team, so the record looks different. And I feel like last year that was a big reason why the NFC North was that good. But I feel like the NFC North will be as almost as good as it was last year. I actually predicted that 3 NFC teams would make the playoffs, or NFC North teams, but I thought the Bears would make it instead of the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Vikings are similar with the Bears to me right now because I feel like I'm putting J.J. McCarthy in the same boat as Caleb, although I think Caleb is better. I think that there is some potential there if you can make it work. And I feel like with O'Connell and the additions they've made, as long as they can run the ball better than they did last year, I feel like they'll be fine. Or they need to find a way to use Aaron Jones in the pass game. They need something.
Definitely.
But see,
I'm curious to see that Vikings
JJ playing this year, bro. I think that's why the division is going to take a hit and being the most competitive. I think it's going to be the NFC East. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
ain't wrong. They tough.
I really think it's going to be the NFC.
Even the Giants might actually have a decent year. I ain't gonna lie.
They got quarterbacks. They got options. So I think it'll be a better division.
Yeah,
I
just
say
don't.
the NFC South, but the Saints did what they did.
Yeah, Saints are actually like last year. I did this thing where I was looking at who's are going to be the worst teams. I think the Saints are going to be the worst team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be bottom 3. There's absolutely no way the Saints are good this year. No way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough season for them. They're gonna have a rough one. This definitely rebuild. I think they're like fully into just all right, we rebuilding now. It's time. We're gonna take these next couple years. Let's just rebuild and see what we got.
Dude, they might be gunning for Arch, actually.
I could see that. Big market,
Dude, I think that actually makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because
I think they get Arch too.
I think they intentionally punted their second-round picks so that they could get a bust quarterback. And then they're going to be the worst team because in the NFL, it's off a record. There's no lotteries. They're going to have the worst record, and they're going to go get Arch, and they're going to get the new Arch. Dude, they're going to have another Arch, bro. They're going to have 2 Archie Mannings.
That's crazy.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
That'd be crazy. That'd be bad for Arch, though. I want Arch to go somewhere good. I want Arch to not – that's why I hope Jackson Dart is in the bust at least the first 2 or 3 years because I hope that no good quarterbacks go to the Giants so I don't have to root against them. But right now, Jackson Dart is on my list to be my most hated player.
That's crazy.
No disrespect to Dart, but Jalen Hurts was my least favorite fucking NFL player for until a year ago, and then I stopped hating him. But now that Jackson Dart is
Go back to hating him so we can get along.
But if he's good, I'll just accept that he's good, and then he can be cool. But until then, he's hateable. That's why I hated Daniel Jones too.
Daniel Jones
need that $40 million, dude.
Time, Mike. You'll be a dog for a long time.
But yeah, anyway, you guys want to talk about anything else, or are y'all good?
Trying to think. We could probably. I was gonna say we could see who we. Well, we already kind of talked about that. The best division. Who we think the best division in football gonna be. Kind of already touched on that a little.
What about the AFC? We can do the AFC and then
we can do the AFC. The AFC kind of shaked up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It kind of shook things up. I ain't gonna lie. AFC West could be nice. The Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders could be decent. Then
I have a feeling it's gonna be.
But I don't know, bro.
I have a feeling it's gonna be.
I feel like Raiders got some work to do.
I have a feeling it's gonna be the AFC North and the AFC. I have a feeling that Pittsburgh is gonna take a step back, but I don't know if it's gonna be a under 500 year. But a lot of people are saying it's gonna be. A lot of people have said it's gonna be the last 3 years.
That's true.
So I don't know if they're gonna. But I feel like the Bengals will take a step up. I feel like the Bengals, because as bad as the Bengals were, they lost a lot of games by 2 points. A lot of games. If things swing
2 games they played against us, they should have beat us both of the games.
It's not like Burrow is a choker or anything.
Yeah.
It's just really unlucky shit. So if you just need your kicker, honestly, to not sell you, and you win 2 or 3 more games. So I feel like
Mason Rudolph fan club.
Yeah, I feel like, dude, especially the Bengals, Baltimore, those games should be a movie this year.
Facts.
Since
Joe Burrow haven't beat Lamar in dumb long. Lamar 9-2 against Joe Burrow right now. Yeah, I ain't
Dude,
gonna lie.
it's so much legacy on the line.
It
Both
definitely is.
quarterbacks need to. This is like Manning and Brady now. Like, and I'm not saying that they're the best two quarterbacks, but I'm saying like the rivalry, like they play each
Yeah.
other all the time, even though they
Same
didn't play in the
division.
same division. Brady and Manning, it's like they constantly play each other. And then the other Brady Manning is Mahomes and
Allen. Yeah.
Allen. Yeah, I think that'll be the worst division. No, not the AFC West, but the AFC East. That's
AFC East.
Yeah.
AFC East with Jets, Dolphins, who else? Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bills. Yeah.
Yeah.
because
I don't know. I don't think the AFC North gonna be that good, bro. Because I don't trust in the Browns, and I don't think the Steelers.
the Browns was the other team. Yeah, the Browns are gonna suck.
That's what I'm saying. Like AFC
I
West.
don't know, bro.
like,
I don't know. Listen, they got the only thing that makes me feel sus about saying this is that Mason, the D tackle they went and got. I even looking at practice, throwing up and all of that. That's not a good look. But who they got a linebacker? Mason's supposed to be good. Like they got some pieces that might be. And then I'm telling y'all, I know a lot of people now on Juggins, but he's gonna be a premier back. Tell him.
On GT?
That was cool.
Of course.
Cool.
My thing about GT is I don't like putting big expectations on running backs in bad situations. That's my only thing. Like if he was in a good situation, because to me, it's like the discourse on running backs is the most disingenuous part of football because we don't talk about offensive lines. My father, right, never played football in his life, but always loved football. The number one thing he told me was offensive lines are the biggest thing because he was a Dallas fan when they won all the time. And when I look at that, I firmly stand on that because of what Saquon went through. And you see, and obviously, like, he went to the Eagles when he was at his peak. Like, it would be different if he started out there. Maybe he wouldn't have the 1,800-yard year if their offensive line was that good. But, like, the fact that their offensive line is that good is what separates him from this season. And that type of stuff matters. GT is probably going to get 900. He could get 1,000 because Najee Harris was getting 1,000. I mean, if he gets the carries – I mean, I feel like he'll get 1,000 because their offensive line isn't good, but the year before last year they were all right. So I mean, like, and they have pieces on that offensive line. Their offense just sucked last year as a whole. But for him to like actually have like a All Pro or even like a rookie of the year, like nah, because they're just not good enough. Like in like all a quarterback needs to do is get 20 touchdowns and 150 picks, and they're winning the rookie of the year over him unless he has.
No, Marley, definitely. If T lost us this year, we're definitely.
I saw it.
Wait,
I saw that. I wasn't gonna say nothing, bro.
Definitely tired.
Okay,
of
shit.
He needs to turn up this year.
Oh, Marley. Yeah. If y'all want to ask questions, I mean, like, I don't have anything else to do, so we can answer them for like 10, 15 minutes because we got a couple people in here. Also, shout out chat, man. Shout out all the boys in here. You know we be seeing y'all. God bless. But no, if T-Law is ass, no, I've been on the T-Law. Like shit. Like not like I don't think he's trash, but me and Riddell had some heated conversations. Shout out Riddell, but we had some heated conversations about Trevor on PC. I got basically kicked off of PC. I got like fucking suspended for like a week or two because of T-Law. Because I was crazy. I crashed out on T-Law one time.
That, bro.
You remember that? Yeah, that was crazy.
I think he's gonna have a comeback year though, bro. I think Liam
Cohen. I low key do too. Yeah.
I think Liam Cohen can really bring it out of him, bro.
I think he can play. I ain't gonna lie, he has to play good this year. There is no way.
He playing for his career right now.
Yeah, but there's no reason why he can't. What's their division? Yeah, their division might be the worst.
AFC South, bro. They only comp is the Texans. I mean, the Titans.
And the Colts play them tough too.
But this is why there's no excuse.
The Colts.
If they're healthy, the Texans most likely their offensive line is going to be not that good. So that you have two guys you've invested in first round picks that are both good. Like now that Walker is good, there's no excuses for their defense to not be able to compete against Houston to me, because both of those guys should be able to compete. Especially Walker, I feel like with T-Law is going to have a breakout season. Like Walker was considered a bust, but like last year he was tough, and I feel like it's just going to continue with him. Sometimes in the NFL it takes you a while, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I feel like T-Law isn't even that bad. He's just inconsistent. Like he has a lot of the same issues that Kyler does. But the thing with
that's a
him
great comparison. Him and Kyler are like damn near the same as far as like production and just inconsistency.
Like they both struggle to read the field, and they struggle to, like when we talk about Jalen Hurts too, it's about he makes mistakes, but a lot of his mistakes are like misreads or bad throws that just are like incompletions that you look at and you're like, that was terrible, but they don't end up being turnovers or bad plays. With T-Law, it's like you're either like throwing picks or taking bad sacks and fumbling the ball and that type of stuff. I feel like he'll clean up eventually. Like he's young. He hasn't had the best situation around him. Like he had one decent situation and had a pretty good season where people were considering that he was like top 12. And that was like year 2, I think. So I still think that there's chances for him to be good. But their offensive line has to improve. Like their GM, I love that he took Travis Hunter, but you've got to instill the offensive line in the upcoming years because it's probably not going to be good this year.
I love the Travis Hunter pick. I love that he got picked early. I don't understand what him going to Jacksonville was about.
Well, I just think, the dude, he's betting on a generational talent. He's look, you can talk about them trading up. It's kind of like the same situation of like trading up for like Trubisky, like that type of stuff. Like, did they give up too much? But I'm not talking about the talent. I'm just talking about the trade. But I think if he becomes who he's supposed to become, it doesn't matter who you gave up. It doesn't. Like those type of guys, especially him playing both sides, like those type of guys are crazy. But yeah, if he's a bust, it's gonna be terrible because they traded up. But I don't think he will be, man. I think a guy like that, if you feel like you can get him, and also like it's not like they didn't address a need. They addressed one of their biggest needs, which was cornerback position and the receiver. Well,
he's not playing cornerback this year.
So he's only playing receiver.
Yeah,
I thought he's playing both. All right, my bad.
So he's not playing both?
No.
Who
he's
said that?
playing offense.
But I will say
that's what reports have said. At least that's what reports have said.
I feel like that's honestly, we can talk about Travis a little bit too.
I got some questions too. Who's someone y'all rooting for to have a good year?
We'll get to your question too after this. I just saw it.
Go ahead,
but like, yeah, he's talking about college football. But like, I just think Travis specifically is so, like, I feel like it's a really good sign that he's playing receiver, because if he's playing receiver, that means that they really believe that he can develop into a top tier receiver. Because what I see with Travis as a receiver is somebody who is, I'm trying to think about, like, he's got a little bit of like Percy in him. Like, you give him the ball and he's gonna take it to the house. Like, he's gonna make something happen. Like,
somebody also remind me of a little bit. I'm sorry to cut you off. Jettis, like kind of Jettis, how like kind of smooth they are, like
their movement,
movement wise,
but the yak is like,
the yak is crazy.
Out of college, his yak is generational.
Yeah,
so if he can develop as a route runner, and his hands are good too. His hands are really good too.
I think his hands are elite, bro.
His hands are like elite. Yeah, he just hasn't been on the field enough for people to like see it. I feel like I'm not saying that he hasn't made plays, but I feel like once he plays a full season at receiver, people will really see it. But
the only thing I'm scared about him is just the injuries, man. Like, he kind of
I think the contact in the NFL gonna be different, bro.
Yeah, but only playing receiver
is gonna be different.
Only playing receiver is gonna help him. I feel like it's how you. I feel like he'll be fine until he improves as a route runner, because until then he's not going to be the number one. Like, he's not going to be going down the middle of the field. He's either going to be getting really quick routes. He's either going to get slants or deep routes, or he's not going to get routes that expose him down the middle of the field until he gets better, because they already have two receivers that are really good.
Not only that, but he won't have to, Mike, because they don't got no damn O-line, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying they already have two receivers that are really good. So he doesn't even have to, like, yeah, they're not the best, but he's not going to come in and take their spot as the number one unless he's freaking Julio.
I don't think wide receiver is better than BTJ like right now. BTJ. But I'll be surprised if they don't throw him in a couple of defensive plays. Like, I'd be real surprised. I don't know. I think they really not trying to give everything right now. I think they want to wait until training camp comes along. I think they're going to at least throw him in.
Yeah.
They going to have to, because
I don't
watch them stumbling about 3 routes already in these training camps. I don't watch them fumble 3 routes.
Yeah. I mean, his routes are going to be – it's going to be a lot of work on his routes. It's going to be a lot of work on that. I mean, you're talking about a guy that is, I mean, pretty lengthy. He's 6'1", 6'2". He's really quick and stuff, but you've also got to be you've got to develop the routes to be.
You got to separate.
Travis Hunter might be the shortest looking tall person ever, bro.
Yeah, he looks super. Yeah, he looks like 6'4". Like, I thought he was freaking way tall, but I still think his yak is so generational that you have to play him, and he's still going to be a threat with them. Yeah, and like, I feel like the reason why they drafted him too is because they're probably not. I don't know if they invest in either guys that they have right now. Who do they have right now other than him? They have what's his name, Kirk, and who's the other guy?
No, Christian Kirk left. Christian Kirk went to the Texans.
So who's their receiving core now?
It's BTJ, him.
That's it.
That's what. Why was I forgetting? Yeah,
because Evan Ingram is gone too. That's what I was saying. Why would you get Travis Hunter to come in and play receiver? You have nobody else.
That answers your question, because they lost a lot of their guys, and they don't have a line.
No, they cut them.
What?
Didn't they release Evan Ingram?
Evan Ingram still play there.
Huh?
I thought Evan Ingram still played for Jags. Am I tripping?
I ain't sure.
He got released. He might have. I'm not sure. I know they Christian Kirk not there though. I know he's with the Texans.
But like, all I'm saying is, I think for them, if you're picking a lineman at the top of the draft where they were, if they're going to pick a lineman, they're
he plays for the Broncos now. Evan Ingram plays for the Broncos.
Really? Oh wow,
that's good pickup. Oh my god, we need a lock.
I didn't know that.
We need a lock in, but it's chill. It doesn't matter. But no, my thing, I just think, yeah, they need to get offensive line, but if in the position where they were, you basically have to take the guy that the Patriots took. And I feel like that they said he's a really good player, but we like Travis Hunter more, because as much as our offensive line would improve by getting him in the future, it's not going to improve this year just by him.
And Christian Kirk went to the Texans, bro. That's a nice pickup too.
Yeah. So I think they decided to. I think they decided to just take the top end talent at receiver and figure out the offensive line later, because of the fact that they lost so many guys. And it makes sense that he's only playing receiver, because they need him to be on the outside now. Yeah, I feel like he's going to be in the slot, but he's gonna be their deep threat. And wherever BTJ is, he's going to be the more dominant guy that gets the ball more down the middle. I feel like this year you have, because they pretty much unlocked that with freaking Mac Jones last. They unlocked BTJ playing like freaking, playing like a top 7 receiver, like just by stats and
balling, bro.
If it was me, I'd have Kirk to at least give him some game, coach him up on the field, you know.
You don't think BTJ is like top 12? Like, I think they did that because they think BTJ is a top 5. They think that he could be top 5 by the end of next year. Well, I think they already think that he's probably top 5 to top 10.
I think they're all in on him.
Yeah, like that. So they're all in, and I think that's really all you need, man. I feel like in the last couple of years they haven't had a guy like BT. Like, now that you have BTJ, it's like, how much receiving do you really need other than you have BTJ, who's a deep threat within himself, and then a guy who's a specialty deep threat and yak guy. That's probably going to be good enough to be competitive in their division. And
I don't know, Mike. When you put that with bad O-line, I don't think that ever works out.
Well, it all rides on Trevor Lawrence not being a bust. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is inconsistent and takes a lot of sacks, then they're not going to be good. But the strength, all I'm saying is the strength of schedule is going to be bad, or it's going to be one of the worst. They're going to have a great strength of schedule. They're going to be able to probably win more games than people think. And as I said, both of those defensive linemen against the Colts, against Houston, should be able to eat. They got
De'Ami Brown.
They will eat.
They got De'Ami Brown too. I just seen the Jags. So it's gonna be him, Travis, and BTJ with Parker Washington, that deep threat.
Yeah, I think just BT. I'm not saying that it's like enough to be elite, but I think BTJ is enough. BTJ is enough to have a balanced offense if you can figure something.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he said, "Who's someone y'all rooting for have a good year that's not on your team?"
Jaden Daniels.
Oh shoot, yeah, we'll
It's
start.
not on your team, bro.
Who's someone y'all rooting for?
I'm going
I mean, dude. As much as I want Jaden Daniels to go crazy, man. I don't have a hate. There's nothing that I hate about him. I couldn't hate him if I tried, man. He's just too good. And I watched every single game of his on tape last year. And there's just no denying how talented. No denying how talented. The only way he has a bad year is if they figure him out and he's just not progressing the field the same way as last year. Because the talent is out of this world. And when it comes to progressions too, there's not many that have done what he did in his rookie year. And the one thing that I will say that I am interested, I'm not saying that I'm worried, but I'm interested to see how he progresses is his ability to just read the field and progress, because I feel like his speed is it's so ridiculous that he looks better than he is progressing, and he looks better than he is evading the pocket because of how freaking athletic and how great he is. So I feel like the Eagles did the best job of containing the edge. They essentially gave him the middle, and they said, "Big dog, you're 6'4", 205. Go drive in the A gap. Let's see it." And I feel like if you can do that, you have a better shot of beating them. But that's saying a lot, because if you give him a sliver, he's out, like off the edge. So that's the only thing. But yeah, I love Jaden Daniels, man. Jaden Daniels is my guy, bro. Like I don't know if I would be that pissed if they win against Dallas this year, bro. Like I really don't. Like if it was a close game, yeah, but
nah, JD. Marvin's a good one. Marley, I ain't gonna lie, Marvin Jr. I'm definitely rooting for him as well. I'm gonna probably say Caleb though. I just like everything that happened last year. Just like the whole Bears team as an org. I think it's a new breath now with just Ben Johnson. I think I really want Caleb to shine this year, man. He had a rough rookie year, so hopefully he can kind of shine a little bit this year. He got all the talent in the world. Again, everybody. I mean, I was even with somebody. I think he's a generational talent. I still believe he is. And you put the right people around him, he's going to showcase that. So I'm hoping he comes back this year.
Yeah, and I think this show has been. A lot of people will take the progressions, the field general quarterback over the guy who struggles with that. Yeah. That's very talented, and I want to push back on that a little bit. Like I think. Give some of these guys time to figure it out. And a guy like Caleb Williams, man, like, and I think I don't want to see his numbers progress honestly that much. Like if he had the same yards, but he had more touchdowns, less sacks, less picks, I would love that, because at this point, let's just use Caleb Williams the way that Russell Wilson. Like, let's try to develop him like that. Let's try to develop him like Kyle. Let's try to develop him as a playmaker off of play action, not as a pocket passer. Let's wait on that.
Yeah.
We've got all the time in the world to do that.
Let him be free, bro. Like, he didn't come in the league playing like that. Like, let him be free.
He didn't, and we talked about it, I think, was it Thanksgiving with Early? Like, this was one of the best points I've heard Early make, was about how his O-line was crazy, and he had so much time to maneuver around and get outside, and like that's a big thing that he has to work on. But you need to get him outside as much as possible. You need to manufacture that. You should be manufacturing that.
More play action, man. Get a run game with him, bro. I promise he's gonna go off, bro. If you put the right things around him. That's why I'm really banking on Ben Johnson really just changing things up. And obviously, it's not gonna all happen one year. But I think Ben Johnson, I like him. I'm really high on Ben Johnson. I think he can do wonders, bro. Especially if you give him the right pieces, man.
If he's a good coach, you'll see it at the end of the year. That's all you need to see.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially
Probably gonna happen game 2, 3, or 4, but week 8, 9, 10, so on. You should see it then, because the players should be starting to understand the longest comprehended.
I mean, especially compared to like oh wait. What was I gonna say? Oh, I forgot. But anyway, yeah, no, I think I think he'll be okay. I don't know if he's gonna have an like all-time season. Like I don't know, not
Yeah.
all-time mountains, but I think that he's going to improve. He'll be fine.
I just want him
This
to progress
next
and get
game
better.
is
A
Dude,
player I want
oh.
to see be crazy this year, bro, is Big Hutch. I want to see how he responds to this type of adversity. Being hurt when you at the top of your game, he was going crazy. But I still remember when he whooped on us. Who was it? 4 or 5 sacks. I want to see him. I want to see him get back.
Oh, that's a good question by Key English when he was talking about the college football committee.
Yeah, I was seeing that first. We can also talk about that, and then we can piece. I know this is. I feel about the college football playoff committee. Oh, on changing the seating. Oh yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a big can of worms. That. Yeah, was it 12 teams?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like.
I like 12. Man. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the thing. This is the thing that I remember that I was thinking about when it was happening. They need to change teams like Boise State getting by. They need to change the way, the seating. Like the way that works is BS. Like Boise State shouldn't have had a bye. Like these teams like Ohio State, like should not have been the last seed. I think that there should be some divisional supremacy.
Yeah.
Like or not what you know what I'm talking about. Or conference, whatever.
Conference,
Because it's like, bro, like I don't know, Ohio State lost to freaking Michigan because they had 2 NFL level prospects, and the one that everyone was saying was worse than the best guy is now looking like the better one. Or all I'm saying is that Mason Graham is looking like he's not as good. So like I don't know, I just think they lost a couple times, but they were clearly the best team. And then I mean, I was pissed that we had to face them. Like we should have been playing Boise State.
Yeah, that was tough.
Bro, we should have played them because look, I'm not a believer of like feeling bad for your team for losing. Like you lost, like just like when you win, you should be happy and you should talk and you should do all that. But when you lose, you should just lose and it's whatever. But I feel like playing Ohio State the first game after a bye, that good of a team. We already played them and won by 1. Like they came in and they had a completely different game plan, and we got completely shut out. And I think that was also because we lost what's his name. We lost Evan Stewart in that game. He didn't even play, which was a big reason why we couldn't go downfield. But like if we would have had a game to see us do well, like get us a 350-yard, 400 yards Dylan Gabriel performance. Let's see it happen, and then we go play them. I feel like we wouldn't have gone smoke like that. I do feel like we lose them though, because that team was way better than us, bro.
Yeah.
But,
damn, man, that's a crazy to think about, Q. Yeah, that's rough. God, so it's basically off of just your record. It's not off of like what your wins in the conference, which is just kind of doesn't make sense to me. But that's whatever.
Yeah, no, the last thing about that, I agree. I just think I'm fine with having those teams in because we've seen teams that maybe should have made it that didn't. And like we've also seen a lot of players like have great seasons, never compete for a Heisman because they're not in a good not in a good conference. And I feel like that the main reason why they implemented the change was so that in 3 to 4 or 5 years, all of these conferences are way closer than they've ever been. And that was kind of the goal, because if not only like does it help coaching, but it helps getting players. Like you have a chance, if we're good and we build a good roster, to make the championship game. Like we can actually do it now if we go undefeated in one of the Power 5 conferences. So I feel like that's why they did it. But until it really changes, and it might never change, it's going to be a little unfair. But I think, unless and the committee doesn't really do it, but I feel like unless it's like by talent and tape, like this team just exceeds their expectations, go undefeated in the Power 5, like then you can give them like one of those buys. But Boise State, didn't they lose? They lost one game, right?
Yeah, they lost it.
Yeah, they lost
to Oregon.
They had I forgot. Was that the only game they lost? I don't even know. I'm gonna check.
I think that is the only game. They only lost one game. It was
yeah. So they actually do get a little bit exception because I will give them that. But I do stand on the fact that we were not the same team.
No, y'all wasn't the same. Y'all were really better than. And it's the conference. The whole conference thing is just like, bro. The comp is less. So them getting that bye is just like, and then y'all have to play Ohio. Like, bro, they should have played Ohio. Y'all should have played Texas or something like that.
Yeah, Tech. I would have been. I mean, like if we played Texas, I would have been fine. I feel like we could have lost that game too, but they were playing bad enough through the season.
But they were playing bad. They weren't playing that good.
I wouldn't have been mad if we lost to them because it's just like. But we would have beaten them because I feel like not as an NFL prospect, like necessarily. Even though I do believe Gabriel's a better prospect, to be honest, I just don't believe in Quinny.
Ewers.
But I feel like Dylan was way better. He was just more confident. He was more accurate, and he honestly, he was in a better. Gabriel was in a better position for him. Yeah, he didn't have better talent per se, but those receivers stood up, especially at the college level. Like Tez Johnson.
I love.
People are gonna hate this, but Tez Johnson was comparable to Bond. He wasn't better than Bond, but
they're comparable.
They were in the same tier, dude. Tez Johnson against Penn State put up one of the best performances I've ever seen a receiver put up.
I think Bond was better at Bama than he was, I feel like, in Tennessee and Texas.
Yeah, facts. But like that game, I think about it now, that Penn State game that he went crazy. If he didn't have that game, he wouldn't have gotten drafted, bro. Yeah. He wouldn't have. Because he
went crazy that game. I like Tez Johnson, man. I think he can. I think he's a good player. He's a good player.
Tez Johnson's going to be a guy in 3 years we look at that got his position as a slot guy, and then he could be. It depends on how much potential he has, which I don't really know what he can do. I feel like he's going to get a shot in 3 years.
But honestly, Q, I think he's fast. He's faster than what his 40 was. He's definitely. What it was, a 4.5 or something like that. He's faster than that, bro. He's clear. He's a 4.3, sure.
Okay, so Tez is okay. Yeah, the 40 is the 4. Okay, no, he's the Tom Brady of the combine for receivers because
5'8".
For him, it's the combination of him being so short, so weak, and so slow. Yeah. But when it comes to route running and shit, like, don't get it twisted. Like, he's not going to be routing anybody up in the next year or two. But once he gets a little bit more of a body, once he just plays in the NFL for a little bit, his route running is going to get put on display at some point because, like, he was killing dudes in the Senior Bowl. He was killing them. And I'm not saying that he's doing that in the league against these guys right now, but the fact that he's on that higher of a tier, like where he's separating with nothing right now, like I feel like he's never going to get faster and he probably won't really get that much stronger, but he's going to get used to the NFL game as long as he doesn't get injured. I feel like a guy like that you can bet on to be better than his draft pick because like he's actually shown that he can like do something. He's shown he can separate and get downfield. Yeah. Like a lot of people feel like he won't be able to separate. It's like one buddy from Ohio State who I don't know where he went in the. Did that best corner for Ohio State last year? Did he went in the draft?
Who Bank? Isn't it Banks?
Whatever their best corner is, I don't know his name.
Denzel, wasn't it Denzel? Something. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he did get drafted. I forgot where, or maybe he went undrafted.
Either way, yeah, he was supposed to be one of the best corners.
Yeah, he was. A couple years ago, he was, and then he
got freaking fried. He was getting fried by Tez. So Tez got a little bit, but yeah, I do agree with Hefe and Shift God. I said Gugu was going to go in the first round.
The Bucks. The Bucks. That wide receiver core the Bucks got. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and BK, and then they got dude. what's his name? Light skinned dude that's really nice that I like. Rookie from last year. I forgot his name. He's nice. Then Tez and they're deep. They
And
deep.
you're not going to be asking. The reason why I feel like they got him is because for the long term, but that's a guy that you can rely big plays on. Same with McMillan. You can rely
McMillan, yeah.
plays when they're not the number one or the number two, when they're just out there as the last option.
Yeah.
Like those plays that you get your last option of the ball, they can make something happen. And
bro, McMillan is nice, bro. I like McMillan. He's a good player.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily set in stone that Igbuka is going to beat him out. He has to earn that. I have to see that before I say that he will.
Yeah.
He's got to prove it because McMillan proved that he could be the second receiver last year.
He proved that easily.
So I don't see why they wouldn't let him. I feel like the goal right now is for all three of those, Tez, Igbuka, and McMillan, I feel like, to work out so that they don't have to pay receivers in the future.
Yeah. That would be a good little future three right there for them to work out. That would be nice. That would be nice.
I don't know if it does because that's implying that both. But I feel like that they kind of think, okay, Igbuka could be McMillan on the other end, and then
Tez in the slot. Yeah.
But that's probably gonna do it, dude. We went 2 hours. Good stuff with a little short crew.
Yeah,
that was a good episode.
Great episode, man.
Appreciate the chat for pulling up as always. All of the regulars. We see you as always. Appreciate it. And we'll be back on Wednesday as regular. If we don't, we're planning through the off season to do it every week, get an episode out every week. If we don't get it on Wednesday, we probably will. I'm gonna start putting community posts and stuff if we don't. So I won't leave you guys hanging next time. But yeah, appreciate it, y'all. And yeah, y'all have a good rest of your night. Peace.
That was a good